smidgen there onto Flusher. So he gets brought down to 64 HP, and they start to dial it back a little bit.
Yeah, JW in quite an aggressive spot considering there's only the scout. He did manage to perform with it early in the last map, but he's basically just going to have to hit the shot and fall back. He's given the headshot onto Taco, though. Offered up on a play. Crims, this is risky. He can go for the push down. He'll get one. Fade away, not really going to be too beneficial, and considering he had the only rifle, not really sure that was worth it. He's now actually up to execute in this direction. JW's here with the scout. Golden with the dig, and both should be removed, but a nice shot from Golden once again. Looking for more! He hits the second dig as well. Now KNG left in a 1 versus 3. He's got plenty of time at least, but surely just going to be surrounded.
Golden, he swings out with a deagle. He was looking to get himself the third and make it hat-trick into the round, but he doesn't land the shot. Luckily enough, Flusher swings and kills. Fnatic, straight back, Tom. No dilly-dallying, no messing about. They want these rounds, and that is the fourth.
I think as though they're still coming in with worse buys than MIBR every single time. Well, the loss bonus is with the Brazilians, and they've come up with, what, 5 rifles? 4 and a bit, if you include the Galil.
Oh, Brola, you cheeky gamer.
We saw him do that a lot versus Heroic, and he was able to get to the ladder room almost every single time. It seems like MIBR have shut him down quite early, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to recreate the same sort of success. And this could be a bigger problem. Although there's an early lead brought up for Fnatic, they now need some sort of hero play to turn things around. Crims is still standing, but yet to have anywhere near the same impact we saw in the previous map, although I suppose that was the best performance on LAN ever seen in a map, so you can forgive him for that. Does hit the dink onto Taco, but ultimately the kill is far more worthwhile, and the remaining 2 CTs are nowhere near the action.
KNG is incredibly low. Taco as well, even worse for wear, back down on 18 HP. JW with a spring in his step, sprints over to try and build up the defenses on the A side. Does drop a smoke. Flusher starting to make his move as well. Flusher falls short in the fight versus KNG, and this makes the life of JW a million times harder. And he's super paranoid about this being B. He's fully convinced that this is going to be a play on the B site now as he double flashes it and starts to make over in there. This is not good at all, Tom.
Time is ticking for them. They do have to go back to that A site and get the bomb down.
Bomb has been planted.
Tease, I don't really want them to face JW too much. Like, I guess for the, hey, Lucas wins the battle straight off the bat, but it's just looking at the risk of if they do lose too much weaponry and don't actually make any cash, finally building up into things. The problem now for Fnatic is, because of even the backwards and forwards nature, their loss bonus should be at absolute 0. And even buying in this round or the next is going to kind of suck. So they're actually going to go for the early chance, I suppose, just have a better possibility of destroying your opponent's economy, but it gives MIBR a really good chance to get back into this.
Nice early nade going out. A little bit of damage done on towards Flusher. This Fleur even starts to make his sprint up. Put him at 10. Ooh, Golden with a deagle. So that cone goes flying. Golden hoping to recreate that, but instead one of the MIBR players heads if he can. Unless they want to pop off those melons. Wow, okay. That was a clean shot. Finally gets the connection that he was hoping for, as Lucas will be the test dummy on that one. Fallen, shooting through the rail. A big trade. Both of them fall down to 13 and 15 HP. He's got to grab the bomb back as well.
Ooh.
Nice recovery.
Still, though, defense on the A side of the map, fairly minimal. It's only going to be JW here with the deagle. He's going to go for basically the early spot. They need to have these sort of risks taken in these rounds, and MIBR playing very slowly. Could actually work into the hands of Fnatic. Give them that extra member back in the form of the time. Crims ekes out, doesn't manage to get anything done, and I think that might now be the moment where they decide to go back in towards this B site. Although with a couple of players seemingly going up the ramp at the same time, it's a question of if they're actually going to continue in this direction. They might just be able to make their way all the way back over. But instead, they have to force their way in. Bomb is going to be planted, a couple of players low. JW and Brolin, the healthiest in the server at the moment, and Brolin still has a rifle on his back, but can he actually do anything here? It's looking fairly unlikely. JW, that's an impactful kill to say the least. Has Fallen as well is tagged desperately low, but Fur in this corner could have everything to do, but he goes down. It's left all on to Fallen in the corner. A rifle's been retrieved. Did JW actually not spot him? No, they have realized they just tried to bait him out. And with the kit in play for JW, they'll have plenty of time for the defusal.
Right, get their 5th round. It's been going very well so far on Vertigo. You're going to be pretty happy with the results. They've been able to clamber together. MIBR going to buy back out. For Fnatic, they're going to have to scrape and scram a little bit, though, with the cash. It's not too fantastic for them whatsoever. So Flusher, he's forced down just to the MP9. However, Brolin and Golden both have a Krieg, so that's going to be worth its weight in gold. And definitely provide an awful lot more stopping power for that CT side.
Yeah, the problem still remains that although Fnatic are winning these rounds, they're not quite able to crush MIBR's economy. They're all set up over onto that A ramp. Of course, rotation's still fairly quick on this map, but it does seem like they're dedicated in that direction. And for the CT side, they do have multiple players around this angle. Crim's hoping to find someone through the wood, but he's actually taken the most damage, which isn't anything to write home about, but it just seems like nobody's able to connect in the right angles. Still a minute left on the clock, so the T's not really wary just yet. And Crims, he gets into this position once again, but it's so predictable. We see so many players make the same mistake again and again, and well, that's given them the entry, handed it for free. Brolin, though, with 2 quick headshots, looking for his third, but it isn't going to come. Taco, he doubles up as well. JW just hiding through the edge of the smoke, and that's what this has become. A game of hide and seek. And Brazilian in the mist. They don't know he's behind them. How much damage can Taco really do? It's actually onto his teammate. Seemingly a flusher. The smoke criminal spots out the man trying to steal his title. Lucas left with only 15 seconds, no control of the bomb, and no idea if there's even players behind him. And there is.
JW turns the corner, sprays him down, gunning him down in the streets. And that is another round achieved. Locked in as Fnatic are building themselves a very healthy buffer here so far. CT side is looking pretty darn glorious. MIBR though, it's basically just the pistols that are coming out. Maybe a bit of a deco. 2 P250s there, one thrown in for KNG, one on Lucas. And Taco finishes it off with a nice deagle at the end. They tried their luck at A, didn't really work out. This time it seems like maybe it's a bit more of a B site bonanza.
Yeah, this is a round where if you are a fan of Fnatic, you want to see them keep this nice and clean. They have struggled with some of these pistols over the last few rounds, but the Kriegs seem to be helping out with that magnificently. It's only going to be Fur remaining, and there is going to be a huge amount of irony, isn't there, if they now win this map and Crim's bottom frags. Because that is what's happening at the moment. I think he has either 2 or 3 kills.
It is quite funny.
Maybe it's just one of those things where it's like, I already got the record, what's the point? For anybody wondering, I don't actually think that's his mentality, but it would be quite funny. He's just like, well, I've done my work and we still lost, so you guys can do the rest. Brolin, he really is having a fantastic performance. Got caught out a few times in mid early on, but he now sits 11-3. Second tactical pause, or sorry, first tactical pause called from MIBR. And the thing is, in a lot of the earlier rounds, I don't really blame them for not calling one. Like, they managed to get a couple of rounds here and there where they actually did a lot of damage. Then the next round, it was really close in like a few smoke plays, getting caught out a little bit. So I don't think there's been anything drastic that they needed to change. The problem now is with 7 rounds already on the CT side, Fnatic are looking so strong. They've started to build up a bit of a bank as well. It's kind of a worry for MIBR, more in terms of, okay, we actually need to start putting some rounds on the board. What can we change?
Yeah, this is where they've got to try and actually start coming into the game and leaving a bit of a mark on it. You got 2 rounds. You need more. It's not really enough on that T side of Vertigo. Step back into the action though. Downtown is going to carry this one on foot. Very aggressive. He launches his way out mid. Golden! With one foul swoop, 3 heads have all been lopped off. That's how you get the mid control back. And don't allow any aggression from MIBR. This round should quickly go the way of Fnatic from this point forward, which it will. Crimson JW, a frag apiece. Taco down. Lucas also going to hit the DECK. And Fnatic secure number 8.
That was impressively clean.
That was really nice.
Like, considering that was like an investment as well, that looked cleaner than the pistol round they just won. And that was flawless as well. So Fnatic finding their rhythm, and more importantly, the Brazilians falling a little bit flat. I don't know if this looks like a comfortable map for them at all on the T side. Like, we haven't seen any, I would say, particularly good executions. Like, we've had the sort of standard ones, but we haven't really seen a proper B take with all the smokes and molotovs going down, and that was actually something that was pretty effective, at least versus Heroic yesterday when Fnatic were doing it. Now, is that 3 back-to-back flawless rounds for Fnatic? I'm fairly sure it is.
Yeah, Fnatic have got momentum here. They've also got entirely T-side weaponry. Their arsenal is literally just Kriegs and 1 AK.
I hate this game. Like, oh, God.
It is madness.
They have more Kriegs than the Ts do.
They actually do.
This game's stupid. But either way, we'll see if they're going to be able to out-Krieg. That was it. Oh, wow! How does Taco get away with that? Crimson's actually having a bit of a mare. And they're going to go over the top, but doesn't kill off Taco. Oh, what has happened?
Golden! Caught his pants around his ankles, luckily. JW, being a sneaky, sneaky beaver, waiting to punish as he sits behind the sandbags, hungering for the correct opportunity to strike like the mighty Cobra. But instead, MIBR, they back off. They're not going towards the A site, Tom. They've set their gaze over towards B. And Fur, lurking the whole way through. If he turns the corner here, Brolin should be ready for this. And he is. Fur's done. No more ferocity coming out from this man, but the B site will be taken as their territory.
Yeah, it's completely open. There's absolutely no one here, and JW's lurking so deep, like, he almost waits too long, which is sometimes the curse. Like, because they've gone back in the other direction, his position's kind of null and void. Luckily, Brolin is just absolutely killing it. We've seen it from Crims, now we're seeing it from the young gun. 16-3. That would be even funnier if he just went and took it straight off him, but it doesn't look to be the case, at least in this round. There's a lot of damage done onto the remaining players, only 33 between them to the 100 of JW, but sometimes the numbers don't seem to weigh up in the favor. JW needs to hit a shot here, and it's not going to happen. Lucas, clinical as he gets his 3rd kill of the round, and more importantly, gets a 3rd round onto the board for MIBR.
JW has the AWP. So I'm curious to see what the Wonder Child's going to get up to. If he'll play a little bit more aggressive going into this, maybe try and take the fight towards ramp. Just go for a straight swing. Try and find that opening pick and then potentially fall back and play from there. This could be the dream scenario as well. They are actually fighting towards it. Another A push is coming out from MIBR. JW playing towards the side out. He'll be forced off by the Molotov, so he won't really have too much of a chance to find success. They are going to spam through. Nice use of the HE as well. 20 damage done to KNG. And this is where Golden this time hopefully won't get caught reloading. Oh! Yikes.
Nice shot from KNG. Not going to get the return, and the AWP is going to be picked up by Crims. Spammed through, actually dinked up through the wood as well. A fairly even trade in the end. Flusher going to be left alone on the B site. Taco holding. He's made the same play before, so be a bit disappointed if we do see anybody go down to that aggressive peak. Once again, we see a slowdown on this T side. Flusher just going to be spotting. That should be now the smoke thrown out. Tries to burn at least a couple of extra seconds off the clock. And Lucas looking for those openers once again. Incendiary falls to his feet, so he's forced away. Spammed through, though, the last bullet of Lucas. Gets him a kill. He actually hits Brolin as well. So much information gathered. The bomb might be going back in the other direction, though, as they're starting to expend utility. It's a complete rotation that's been pulled by the CT side, and they're going to be a little bit late to the party. They're still trying to sell this play onto the A site. Crims needs to connect the shot here. It's actually Golden to get dinked. The second one comes in as well, and while Brolin is forced into a save, but what he doesn't realize is Lucas never left.
A little bit of body hurt there. A single stab on the corpse. That's the most BM we've seen so far. Here's a pause from Fnatic, though, because they want to slow down the pace of the game a little bit, talk about what's going wrong, what they can adapt. It's 9-4, so it's still pretty good in terms of the half. They can really squeeze the most out of this if they carry on playing at the level of caliber they've been displaying. And that's the dream scenario. The MIBR, they're getting momentum, starting to come into their own a little bit. It's been Lucas and KNG, though, that have been really the divine force behind it. Taco dropped a 30 bomb in the prior game, 7 frags right now as we go into round 14.
Yeah, Crim's only 39, or sorry, this is literally 40 kills off of breaking his own record.
Mm-hmm.
I think the maths will just about allow it, but I'm not even sure at this point. Stop going for safe math. That's a nice nade, though. Already tagging them down, and Crim's in a very aggressive position. You can see Flusher once again just using his MP9, spraying through the smoke and catching them. They're just going to run through it one by one into Crims. What is going on? That is such a poor round to start for MIBR, just walking into the crosshair of Crims one at a time, making it far too easy for him to get those kills. A triple off the back. I said he was going to be a nuisance to break down on this B site, and he has. No one should be able to get away with that much off the back of an SMG. And although you have to give credit to Flusher for those kills, you have to take away from MIBR. Like, why were they making such a all-out play when they had... Well, they knew that there was a man on the other side. It just seems insane.
You had Crims on the brain on that one, didn't you?
Did I say Crims instead of Flusher?
You said Crims twice. You doubled down on it. I was like, my goodness. Oh dear, oh dear.
They're both Swedish, it counts.
It's fine.
Even shaved his head, you know, so...
Yeah. I can see where the misconception came from. It's like the Mandela effect. Ooh. Ooh. What on earth? Taco and Fur get kill a piece as they start to push out. Golden will spray down with the Krieg and eliminate Fur. It's a 3-on-4, and this is going to be a bit of a conundrum over at the A bomb site in the last round of the half. Tom, is this going to be 11-4 or 10-5? Roland, he knows what he wants out of the round as he cuts his way through Taco. Lucas on an absolute Kurt angle gets that shot off with a Krieg. Kills Golden and KNG. Oh my. The backstab with a headshot that breaks the neck of Flusher. And it all comes down to Brolin. 2 more frags to find. Can he get the 4K?
Planted on the other side. Lucas has the peak up, and he's going to get that kill as well. A decent way to end the half, at least for MIBR, but it was the Fnatic show all the way through. Just 6 rounds away, but we've been here before. We'll see if MIBR can turn it back once again.
10-5 at the half in favor of the superstar Swedes. MIBR, can they make another comeback like they did on Just 2 here, Tom?
They're going to have to. Unfortunately, it seems to be more than just one suspect stepping up for the Swedish side this time. It was 44 kills previously. He's only just got past 4.
Now he's dead.
He's already dead in this round, but luckily for them, it's been Brolin, Flusher, kicking it off. Flush is going to go down. This aggressive stance working out, but there's Brolin and Golden once again. Finding 2 quick kills, giving them space back into this round. They're going to look to try and pressure into the site, which is currently looked after by Fur. He as well has not been having the impact they desire, but KNG has been chugging along. Bomb going to be faked out, trying to get rid of Fur, and the triple burst will actually be enough. Is he going to try and wrap around? This is interesting, but it's kind of leaving Brolin absolutely screwed. I think the CTs are going to be a little bit confused by this. And we'll see whether or not Golden can win the clutch.
Imagine if he did it again, just went the whole way around. Came out back to B. Back to B, back to basics, back to fragging. Glock in hand. Can he rock out with a Glock out into this one, though? A 1v2. KNG and Taco set the scene for the retake. Up close, the burst of the Glock. That is a ridiculous shot to find as he ends the life of KNG, but he's taking so much damage. And Taco spams his way through him, beats him down, and clutches it out.
It's almost like he hit the hard one and couldn't get the easy one.
I know.
Unfortunate, but it is still going to be the round for MIBR. They get the pistol victory. One that I think they needed going into the CT side. Now we look towards Fnatic with their choices here. Golden, well, it doesn't seem like there is one. He's bought that Krieg straight up. Obviously getting enough kills in that round, plus the bomb plant to give himself plenty of cash for a purchase. The rest of the team are going to go alongside it. And of course, we see the selflessness of Golden once again, making the ultimate sacrifice of trading an SG for a Galil. That's literally like you giving someone $1,000 and then giving you back like 40.
And then that $1,000 just gets left in the street after you get shot. Like GTA.
Hey, Golden got it back though. He found the other 950 KNG. Oh, we saw that exact same position used by the opposing side, so it's no surprise that Golden expected it. Flusher with that CZ. Yet to see any brilliance yet. Golden actually going to go down, fall, and doubles up. Nice shot from JW, but he still dinked in response. He's got to be careful because I think he's about to meet. That was actually Crims meets up with Taco. JW left in a 1 versus 3. We had a big round from him in Dust 2, and he's had a much better start to this one. But this would still have to be a huge play from him.
Yeah, JW, the last remaining member of the Fnatic squad. Galil in hand. Smoke and a flash. As he takes his time. 45 seconds still left on the clock. Debating where exactly he wants to take this. Has now been spotted. Taco's seen him. He can throw the smoke. Actually, though, wastes so much time as he's in the air. Takes a ton of damage. Brought down to 17 HP. JW does start to slowly advance. Oh, here comes Papa Fallen, though. The big daddy himself. And there's the backstab.
Yeah, and that's going to be the big boost now. SG found. They keep the rifle at least, and for the T side, they can't really afford to invest into this one. They will come up with a decent buy into the next round at least, so it's not really the end of the world for the Swedes. I'll be interested, however, to see if they can do any damage. All right. The problem is with the majority rifles, and of course Fur with his trusty MP9, I think the likelihood is fairly slim. But they've got some P250s, at least up the range, a flashbang and a smoke. However, this is where Fur normally flourishes. To get aggressive with that MP9, the SMG that gains him so much cash. Crims as well. I said he's been fairly underwhelming. I guess if you say he's got about 50 kills in 2 maps, that sounds decent. But when 44 have come in the first one, it's not quite as impressive.
It isn't, right? Like, oh wow, did you break the record for most kills? And then you got 5 kills, what's going on? It's one of those. It's rough. Hopefully there's still time for him to use some of the demigod powers that he displayed on the opening map. Beautiful HE though. Everyone has been torn to shreds by that. There is limbs flying all over the gaff as KNG and Fallen start chopping them to pieces. Fallen with a 2K. Just comes down to Flusher and a 1 versus 5. And Lucas advances to find a frag. So third. They make some money as well.
Up 10 to 8. T-side now finally get their first fall buy. Of course, we saw the sort of early force buy that they went for with a Krieg and a Galil, but this is where everybody finally has some weaponry to their name, and they're going to be able to challenge versus the Brazilians. And although they did have a relatively clean round in the last, it's still going to be one where there's possibilities for their economy to be broken. Sure, Taco, even KNG and Fallen have some extra money to spare, but won't be anywhere near as good as this buy, and they have got rid of every single SMG they had. They've gone with the rifles, they've gone with the AWP, and already, well, KNG's gone.
They've already had their first casualty in KNG. Taco went behind the sandbags, hoping someone is going to push towards him. But everyone else is moving as far away from him as possible. They back off. Crims is going to pick up the bomb, and they do start to make their move over towards the B bomb site. Flusher is the first in as he walks up the stairs. Is this going to be the stairway to heaven? Will he be absolutely annihilated as he tries to set foot on the site, Tom?
Oh, Lucas in a decent position here. And they've in fact got a stack on this side of the map as we watch the execute come in from Fnatic through the smoke goes JW, and he just decapitates two members of the defense for not really near the action. JW just, he's got his mind read in him. He started shooting before he even got around the corner, maybe saw the shadow on the ground, but Fer now left with just 13 HP, and I don't think Taco's even really rotated. He's just been waiting on the other side of the map. Maybe Fer's just going to try and stop anybody trying to leave, but other than that, it is going to be an 11th.
Great round from Fnatic. They're going to be happy with this. Taco, at the very least, he has been able to clutch on to that Krieg. So holding on to that bad boy will be beneficial as the game develops. It's still quite a close scoreline. It's not too ridiculously spiraled out of control yet for Fnatic. MIBR are keeping it close. They're keeping it competitive. But they don't have that much money. That'll be the only big factor. They will be buying up the Famises around it. They do get the AWP out on KNG and fairly happy with their utility. So it's only the one Famis that has to come out. Only one kit though. 2 kits.
Yeah, it's definitely not as bad as it could have been. But at the same time, 1 round victory for Fnatic, and they could be family into the lead. The thing is, we saw this on Dust 2, them having an advantage, letting it slip. Some big clutch moments coming out from the Brazilians, and plenty more where that came from. Brolin, though, he's looking like a completely different beast. He goes walking into the site. Crim's even just going to predict the position. Oh, Brolin, though, has to be careful. Taco should be traded out. The youngster still doing work. Gonna make his way back around the corner, comes back for more, and even gets his third. He is playing out of his mind, 24 and 10. The bomb can now rotate back. The B site has been completely taken by Flusher. And Fallen, I guess he just saves.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, 1 on 3. What can you really do into this round? Now they've got the bomb down, they've got complete uncontested control of the B site. There's no real chance for the retake. He does find a kit, so that's going to save him a little bit of moolah going into the next rounds, but even then, that's now 12 rounds picked up for Fnatic. They're getting pretty close to winning this, and this is the series decider as well. Both teams 1-1 apiece. Whoever wins this carries on in the tournament. If you lose it, you go home. You will be leaving Odense. That is your run at the Pro League Finals over.
This really would be classic Fnatic, though. Like being in a moment where they could have easily won Dust 2.
Yep.
Being in front, letting it slip.
They like making it hard for themselves. I don't know why, but they
Maybe they just like the extra hours of Counter-Strike.
It's all about the experience. It's all about the growth.
Sure. And you know, they're like, after this, they should still have a decent amount of time to sleep before the next match.
At least a couple of hours.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It is amazing how Crims is still on 5 kills, by the way. Like, he really is just having a nightmare in the server, but it's almost like he's channeled his energy into the rest of the players, because everybody else seems to be having a step up. Like, Brolin has played completely different to he did on Dust 2, just looking far more comfortable. Golden is still performing. JW stepping up to the plate. It really is.
He was actually told that he was too powerful individually. And what happened was he had to divide himself into 5 separate pieces and give a fragment of himself to the other players. So he only holds onto one of those fragments now. So, shadow of his former self.
Does that mean that Harry's going to try and kill him?
Yes. Yeah, those are the Horcruxes.
Just Harry GG. He's been gunning for ball people all his life. First it was me, but you know. Fallen. He's going to get that opening pick. It's the hero AWP in play. Almost caught with his pants down. Taco has actually come in, and Lucas has found one as well. Maybe the AWP doesn't need to be the hero, as it seems like other players have been able to step up. I don't even know what just happened there. KNG round the corner just takes off one head. Crims, this will be one hell of a moment to step up. Knows where KNG is, but he can't do anything about Taco. And just as we talk about Fnatic starting to move this one further into their favor, they let a round go that really shouldn't have happened.
Not great whatsoever. MIBR, they had a huge comeback on Dust 2. It was absolutely monumental, and if this is the start of one of those once again, it's a good start. It couldn't come at a better time. Round 22. Fnatic. What are they doing on their T side now? Are they going to start to run into a brick wall? Are they going to try and keep them guessing? Faster paced stuff from Brolan. He's already been able to bypass the side alley. Because this time it's not as aggressive MIBR on their CT side. They're actually playing quite lax with all the paint cans there.
Doesn't manage to wall back that initial kill, and Brolin maybe not realizing that he exposed himself to KNG. Still holding the angle. They've managed to stack this site fairly firm as they leave Taco as the lone defender. Also a little bit of presence in mid. JW is going to try and make this play around the side. Flashbang leaves him blind, but Brolin's there again with the trade. However, still keeps the CT side in check, in the lead. The bomb in the meantime starts to lead back in the other direction, but they haven't done too well of a job of actually baiting the rotations away. Sure, we start to see a small amount from Fur looking towards middle, but eventually they're going to have to try and get rid of Lucas, and with all the noise that's currently being made, they've actually pulled a player back in.
Taco, tackled. As Brolan will get a further frag into the round. That's 2 picked up. Wow, massive spam onto Fallen. Bringing down to 32 HP. Golden gets caught as he tried to pick up a double kill towards the B site. 2 on 2 now. Fallen bounding through the air. The bunny hop king as he lands with a heavy thud.
Killed the bomb.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the round done already. Yeah, that was the most crucial kill of the round, and he was jumping around. I don't even think he knew that anybody was going to be around that corner, but a very disjointed one from Fnatic. I think they just had too many ideas on too many different people at once, and it eventually ended up causing them trouble. 12 to 10. Once again, we see the grind back coming in. Brolin actually does save his gun, and that probably means we're going to see a force out. Golden and Crims still with Cash. I think they're going to take a tactical pause to actually talk this one over. We do also see at the same time the Liquid have actually beaten Mouse Sports. And they're going to play against Astralis to see who's going to get the spot straight into the semi-finals. So I think that means that both Astralis and Liquid are through no matter what. But the winner will go to the semis, the loser should go to the quarters.
Whereas here right now, with Fnatic versus MIBR, it's round 23, 12 to 10. Fnatic, not the most money in the world to play with really here, Tom. It seems like it is just going to be the Deagles that come out.
I'm actually quite surprised that they don't opt to take a risk here. Considering the money on the other side, I think they'll have a decent idea of what that currently is. I guess the argument is if Brolin can do enough damage here, which he has been very good at so far, then it doesn't really matter. They can go to the next round even if he just gets a few kills with a full buy. Still in the lead. And they don't have to put everything on the line here and risk a 12-12. Mid control is something we haven't really seen fought for at all at this map, actually. KNG and Fur are going to be set up in a crossfire, so maybe expecting a bit of a play in this direction. Fur, bit of a misspray. In fact, both players not connecting initially. KNG is going to come back for more, and he just continues fighting, maybe not expecting the SG to be on the other side. Both players look to try and jump away. I don't think they expected Fur to reaggress, but even still, they've killed off the man on the B site. And now do they make the switch?
Free on free. Heading back over towards A ramp. It will be an A site attack that comes out. Fur hiding in a great angle. If they don't clear it, if they don't check it, he can punish so heavily with this M4. But they're heading towards the side alley. Two of them have bypassed him already. And it looks like Flusher will follow suit. He's not going to peek out. He's not getting any of the info. Fallen started to rotate over. Catches off Flusher. That'll be the kill. Good timing from Fallen as well. Oh, beautiful double kill. As Crimson Broland both go down 12-11.
But yeah, sort of as said, like there was a good opportunity there for Fnatic, so I think they will still feel a bit disappointed they weren't able to do more in the 3 versus 3. But at the same time, they have kept the CT side honest. They forced them to buy up a fair few weapons. If they can now win this round in their full buy, then they're still firmly in the driver's seat. It's just if this one now comes up for the Brazilians, then this is a different story. Fnatic have let it slip once again, and well, we could be seeing the map closed out. If I'm not mistaken, was it a 10-5 half?
It was, right? Yeah.
So to see this now 12-11, Fnatic are definitely letting them back into the game, or, well, maybe not letting them, but having it taken. A bit of a standoff with the X-ray, at least. Now, I imagine JW is just playing the pixel angle between the door for anybody who pushes through. Molotov will go out, and a lot of utility be expended early into this round towards the B side. There's in fact 3 players here. An early stack set up. Lucas is going to get that opener. KNG probably being fed information that there's not actually anybody else here. You can see him just shake a little bit, and I think that makes me wonder if he maybe got fed some information that they could be coming his way. We're going to see the rotation come back in from Fallen as well. This rotational orb has been effective so far. It's interesting to see that he's been the one manning it. Taco as well, winning a further duel onto JW, and well, this T side at the moment is looking bleak for Fnatic.
Ooh, Fallen has his face ripped clean off as Broland is unleashing hell. One frag away from the 30 bomb, doing an awful lot of damage into this matchup. Oh, and there it is. Guaranteed now. As far as the final kill that he wants, a 4K. The rapid flick down onto Taco, finished off by Golden, eliminating Lucas for the 13th round. Incredible play from Broland.
So what, that was a 5v3. I don't know what it was about the Fallen position, but it looked like he forgot to click left click. Like he just kept looking at him and going, observed? Sort of like a bird watcher. Just being like, this nice Brolin just fluttering around. And then it just like took a dump on him from afar.
And that was it. It's over.
And that's basically what Brolin did in this round. He
pretty much, yeah.
Took a dump on MIBR.
31 kills.
14 more to go.
I mean, at round 20 on Dust 2, this is what Crim's had.
Yeah. The thing is, that puts a downer on it, but Brolin has been playing out of his mind. Like,
just for context,
yeah.
I'm not saying this isn't bad, because it is damn good.
Especially the actual KD is impressive as well. Only 12 deaths to his name. He's been a force to be reckoned with. Not a bad trade all in all. A bit unfortunate for MIBR that they don't have anything else really invested into this round. It was just a few pistols, and unfortunately the one weapon that they steal is the one that's unlikely to have much impact on the round. Right, a UMP, fairly unlikely. Brolin has tried to take a leaf out of S-Tag's book with just knowing the sprays. Crim's trying to make sure his record's not broken by stealing the kill. What has just happened there? How does he take so little damage? That was like a full clip just sprayed by KNG. There's a second assist for Brolin. While Lucas, he runs to try and retrieve that weapon, but Golden's there to put him down. 14 rounds for Fnatic.
That's such a massive yikes. The spray that was just hitting the metal and did nothing until like the last 2 bullets.
I'm pretty sure that there's like a video that Dom put up recently where if there's someone standing below and you shoot that metal, you do 0 damage.
Oh.
But even still, it just looked so ridiculous seeing it that way around, with just Brolin literally jumping into the bullets and just not taking any damage. It's possible that somebody in the server has accidentally given him God mode.
That would explain a lot.
Oh, Fallen this time is going to get that opening pick. We've seen this in a few rounds though, like the 3v5 that happened not too long ago. Oh my god! He's so clinical. Finally, Taco's going to put an end to it, but Crims is there to find the trade. This player's very close. Fallen looking to use this gun as a shotgun, but he misses completely. I feel like the wrong player may have run through the smoke there. Fur now trying to play from afar, and Crims is back to his old self, leaving Lucas lonely and lost.
Sad. Stuck on an island.
I didn't begin with an L, so I didn't.
Yeah. So there's, you know, limited the amount of words.
There you go, limited. That would have worked.
No, that's not too bad. God, losing as well though, as this is going to be match point for Fnatic. Tom, 1 round away from winning it now. And that does mean if they take this following round, MIBR are going home. They will be out of the runnings here at Odense.
The funny thing is, in the match on this exact map yesterday, there were definitely moments where Heroic could have knocked them out of the tournament as well. After beating them on Inferno. In this game, Fnatic had a match point, series point, in the last map on Dust 2, and they got wrecked by KNG on an AWP. So there's definitely been some prominent players. A record has been broken, and now Brolin sits with 32 kills as well. There's been some fantastic performances. For this CT side right now, they need another. They need somebody to step up. They need somebody to basically just send Fnatic packing and give them that overtime once again. They managed it in the previous map, as you can see, a 19-16 scoreline as they dominated overtime. Taco with an incredible clutch there, and he's the top fragger at the moment, but not quite close to what the young Swede has managed to do.
Boulevard of broken dreams here potentially for MIBR as we delve back into the game. Round 27. Will this match point be converted into the victory? Brolin, he's not happy with 32 frags. He wants more.
Look at his face.
Very stunned. Very, very frustrated. A nice amount of damage done as well. Taco brought down to 13 HP. There goes JW though, as Fur will be able to find the early opener into the round. Crim casting out the Molotov, extinguished by KNG, so we can stay sitting pretty in this position. There's the spam, but there will not be a connection.
Taco close. Brolin waiting patiently. KNG still wasting a lot of their time. Nade even going to go down and do a little bit of extra damage onto Crims. They've got the majority of their players now around this A site. Molotov will go down again this time, Kenji. He's going to get supportive smoke. I love it. Just keep him alive. 6 HP now. It should be a very easy kill, but just having him there is going to be frustrating. Finally, Crims will be there to put him down. They know that Taco's just around this corner. The trade comes back from Fallen once again. 3v3, though. The bomb's still dropped. They have to get it down. And look at the position of Fur. He could just double back around and try and deny the plant, but he's going to come in from behind instead. He may have taken too long. However, he does get the kill, but he's left alone, and they know where he is. Brolin again with another double. A 34 kill in any other day would be magnificent. Of course, he's been outdone by his teammate earlier. However, he's the one that helps them take the map across. Flusher combines with him to send Fnatic through to the next round. Unfortunately, that means we lose another team today with MIBR packing their bag. Making their way back home. What's going to be happening?
Walk through fire, try to keep your Well, it seems like the people over at Betway believe in you as well. 1.22 to the 4 odds in favor of G2 as we're kicking things off. G2 going to be on the T side, ATK on the CT. And already off the bat, it looks like they want to potentially head over towards this A side. We've actually seen this map played quite a bit, I feel like, over the course of the Season 10 finals, at least within the group stage alone. But Sonic, in the meantime, has been able to get the initial kill over to Nexa.
Good stop, but look at the trades. That's the A side gone. That's already completely under the control. The two aggressive players, they were trying to peek in. Sure, the rotations are quick, and JT is going to be able to hit the headshot, but they have to be careful of these players around the side. And well, JT already so low. Nice shot from Sonic. A little bit more comes out of JT. And now Amanek, the man who wasn't quite able to step up versus Astralis, left into a 1 versus 2. This round really has been swinging back and forward. JT, he will fall, and it's left in that 1v1. Sonic has been the star of the show for this team, and it's completely different to when we saw him play MMV. I'm loving this version of Sonic in ATK. The question is, who's going to get the mind game right? The bomb currently not in control of Amanek, so he can't really make the move back. The timing is going to be everything here for Sonic, as he might just get around the corner. He knows he's there. He's just trying to find an angle. Amanek still has absolutely no idea. He's going to look to retrieve the bomb. Goes running back into Sonic, and it's messy, but Amanek wins it. It seemed like the South African had him dead to rights, but Amanek, with a lucky Glock headshot, is going to take it through.
I'm just imagining, like, Sonic saw him. He saw him on the rotation towards the site. He heard him running around the corner, and yet he still couldn't hit the shot. That has to be so frustrating for ATK, because he could have clutched out. He already had 2 kills in the round as well, opening up with the initial kill, I believe it was. Really unfortunate for the boys over on the ATK side, and now G2 get to buy up here. They're going to be up against the pistols and the armor, so they can't necessarily get this for free as they're trying to push in towards the safe side off the bat. Jack's leading the charge with the AK. A lot of utility being thrown in, but really no damage being done until OC takes some damage for the Molotov.
Okay, it's getting a little bit dicey for the T side, but they have rectified this situation. Hunter with 3 kills off the back of the SMG. That's a nice money-making round, and well, an attempt, but it's going to be Amanek just watching that flank. Don't actually retrieve all the weaponry that they had, so at least there's been some cost caused by ATK, but nonetheless, we're now going to have to buy back up, and they can't really afford anything.
This has been a super awkward 2 rounds, I feel like. It's been very, like, skirmishy between the two teams. You think of the pistol round, there's kills being traded constantly. There, we see just a big skirmish breakdown on the actual ramp at the A site. Seems a little disjointed, a little bit unorganized, but in the end, G2 do come out ahead. We're going to see the push towards ramp yet again. I wonder if G2's going to rush straight into this. They still have the 2 MAC-10s. They could build up a lot of extra money from this. Jax, well, he's going to get the first. Hunter to come around the corner, spots out 3 more players, and will eventually fall from this, but it doesn't seem to matter because they're going to rescue the SG and pick up all these kills. Now Sonic, the last alive. Well, what can you really do with just the USP?
What's going on?
I don't know. Kenny just took a bunch of damage from a Molotov.
I think they just all walked into their own Molotovs. Actually, Kenny's going to go down because of it. That is silly. And are they actually going to get all the
SG
rifles back?
Yeah. So, did they have an AK? I thought they only had 1 SG.
Maybe. Yeah, they had 2 MAC-10s for sure, but I think they still lost another rifle because Amanek ended up having to switch out Galil for the SG. Not the biggest loss in the world, but hey, there's still extra economy that they were forced to invest. Now we come up with the proper buys. This is where the AWP is going to be onto OC. You have rifles on the rest of the board, and G2's job gets that a little bit tougher.
Well, Amanek was the player that we were talking about before in their match versus Astralis. Currently 3-0. A little smoke used to just gain some ground here towards the B side. They're actually playing very quick here, I'd say, for G2. Floppy, meantime, has taken down Hunter. But now Sonic has to look to defend the site. He's got Jax still with the MAC-10. I mean, this is still not, you know, a massive force-up, so a little bit of a bonus round coming in for G2. Bomb going to be planted, and now Sonic has to hold on and survive until his team can reinforce.
Oh, nice kill from Kenny. That's an important one. Stops the flank. It means it's only the remaining CT players all coming from one angle. Amanek's also in middle as well, so they literally just being sectioned through one position and one position alone. The T's know this and can fall all the way back to the stairs. There's already a man on the bomb. Doesn't have a kit though, so they are going to have to fight this back, and this is a problem now. He's still sticking it. They haven't managed to get Sonic off the bomb, and it's going to be the round going their way. That had to be a full 10-second defusal and had to defend off Sonic. But OC does a good job, and ATK, they're onto the board.
Still going to be rough, though, right? Because ATK have to buy up 3 more weapons. G2 still had money to spend from the last round because they still maintained a Galil and a MAC-10, I believe it was. So not a bad start for ATK, especially considering a full 10-second defuse there when G2 had some pretty decent positions. It's quite surprising they're able to pull that off in the end of things. Modem currently on 0-4. Looking to see him step up a little bit. Micro timeout before he can get really riled up and be the lifeline within the team to get them all motivated and going. But I do kind of like the pace out of G2. Like, they've been very quick in all these rounds. They're not really wanting to slow the pace and just look for the initial picks, trying to keep ATK on their toes. Maybe trying to force out early utility as well, which it looks like ATK won't be using too much of in this round.
Much more patient setup this time. Coming out from G2. They've got Kenny on that AWP, so it's understandable. I like the late smokes actually coming down from the CT side. A lot of the time you see this utility expended very early on. And okay, sure, ATK are now pretty much out of utility. They've got 3 flashbangs, but not anything ideal. Floppy going to be jump spotting. Now, you don't see too many players jump spot this angle for the exact reason that this can happen. Like, you can very easily get past that spot without him noticing. And then you're basically dead. Like, they know you're there. They can hear the footsteps every time you drop. Jack's also trying to sell this as a little bit of a fake, but the bomb's on the floor. I wonder if it might be his job to retrieve it. OC also could be going down. They have Rat back into this position, but again, they have not got the bomb. Interesting that the B-side is now completely clear and the T's are fully dedicated into the site with the last couple of players. Nexa, his 3rd kill of the round already, and while OC surrounded, they didn't need the bomb, it seems. They just killed absolutely everybody, and I say they, I mostly mean Nexa.
And now with ATK taking the round before and losing 3, buying up into this round, they now have no money left for him, Tom. Pistols going to be bought up here, but that's just about it. And G2 already going to be starting with a strong, well, potential 5-1. I don't want to call it just yet, especially if you were tuned in yesterday. You've seen a lot of rounds go back in the team's favor with some lucky pistol shots. But G2 honestly looking pretty good. But I still kind of agree with some sentiments you were saying. Like, the bomb was down and there was no one to pick it up. They had to basically fight to get into the vicinity of it yet again. Seems a little kind of awkward in style, but at the same point, G2 are looking confident as ever.
Well, that's the thing. Like, a lot of these rounds have been off like a little bit of individual brilliance. Like, you've had Nexa just getting 4 kills in a round, just running around and absolutely wrecking everybody. Like, sure, they've got the right setups. Like, if you notice any aggression that comes in from ATK, at least when it's flanks, has been killed almost every time by Amanek. Like, he is watching these positions. He's making sure no one can come in from behind.
I'm also worried for Modem as well, watching this very important position on the A site. He's currently 0-5. He's going to need to start picking up some kills. Nice little start out of JT, though, with the USP. Floppy gets 1. Modem gets on the board with his first kill. So they're making it expensive down to a 2-on-2 now. They're able to rescue at least one of the AKs, but that's going to do it, unfortunately, for them. G2 still will survive with Kenyas picking up 3 kills. Again, that little bit of individual brilliance coming through. Kenyas now on 6 kills, and G2 going to be up 5-1.
Yeah, very costly round, though. Like, if you look at the amount of reserve cash, considering this is 5-1 in their favor, it's not really anything impressive. So if ATK can win this one, they're actually going to be in a fairly good position to break the buy of G2. They've come in with a solid one themselves. Of course, their loss bonus is basically maximized at this point. And look at the change of pace. There's something I always love to see from Nexus calling. You will have these rounds where they just look to blast through a certain position. They found a hole in the defense in the previous round in middle, with Floppy getting taken down without much of a response. Double smoke actually thrown in. We'll see if that plays a part later when they do go for an execution. But now, this boost comes in once again. We've seen a few teams using this. Not actually going to be able to see anything. Sonic looked like they were about to rotate back there, but instead they've had to put a player back into this site.
Sonic, though, pushed up. Unfortunately, going to lose the trade up against JT. A big kill coming for the CT side, but the site has been taken for G2. Sonic's still going to be there, able to get 2 for forces them immediately back. The bomb's going to be down as well. Kenny trying to pick up some kills here as he has Hunter off the side, potentially going for a flank here. It's going to take a hell of a long time for him to really get the position he needs.
He hit that shot.
He hit it?
Yeah, Floppy went down to 23 HP.
Oh, damn.
Like, I assume that would have had to be a headshot for him to connect anything, but it looks like he hit him through the box maybe even with a headshot. Like, that is a little bit unlucky. And so is this setup. Like, OC's probably quite frustrated by the fact he's gone down to that. The problem is, just look where the bomb is. Like, you may even just want to think about saving your guns. Like, sure, making things costly would be nice, but there should be no way that G2 are able to win this round. Kenny's been spotted pushing in. Hunter is doing his best to try and do as much damage as humanly possible, throwing out the Molotov, but he's already been spotted. They know exactly where he is. That's already a third kill, though. This is more cost than would have been expected, but Sonic, he'll get his triple as well. Shutting down the round, a second on the board, and as mentioned, now the money for G2 is not great. I wonder if they are going to invest that AWP back into Kenny, or maybe it will go into a situation where he's dropping a gun and just picking up an AK.
Oh, I do enjoy, at least, like, with the extra kills Hunter got at the end, I feel like the investment of throwing Kenny and Hunter in there was kind of worth it, because they had to buy up on, like, 3 different people, right? And they still don't have that much money. They're still kind of in the same, you know, rankings of where they were in the last round in terms of, like, financials.
I do think, though, if you save those 2 guns, you have a full buy here. Because Kenny had, what, about
6K, 7K?
6K, so he has his AWP, then he can drop 2 AKs. So I get the idea that obviously doing that amount of damage is great, because it now means if you do win this next round, you're set. But your next round buy is kind of trash. Like, you've got weapons missing. Is Kenny even going to... I thought Kenny was actually going to... Yeah, it looked like he gave another AK over to Amanek, and I'm going to say, no, you know what, man? You're a pretty good rifler. You keep it.
Floppy going for the early control and towards middle. G2. Well, they picked up the pace towards middle before. Hunter might be doing the same thing here. I wonder if actually JT expects them to have already pushed up towards the sandbags. I don't believe so. Next, in the meantime, has been able to get a kill on the Sonic, so that potentially opens things up towards this B side. It's going to be all on the Floppy. The SMG gets the first, almost gets the second as well, but eventually going to be picked up by Amanek, who actually pushes in towards middle. He's got more company coming his way. And unfortunately for him, he will die, but the bomb is now down. They have a flank coming in from behind. It's going to be Hunter, and he gets one. Potentially the second as well with the Galil, but Modem will shut him down.
Kenny on the site, doesn't have his trusty AWP. Nexus so desperately low. He gets forced into the open, but still hits the shots. He's been having a phenomenal match with Vertigo, and Kenny now spotting out Modem. They can just fall back. They know exactly the position of the bomb. Now, they struggled with this last time. He could potentially just try and be a little bit sneaky with the defusal, and I think that's exactly what he's going to do. It might actually be quite tough to kill him from here, but he just goes for the bait, almost killing Kenny. Unfortunately, not to be the case. G2, they get themselves another round on the board, and I want to point out, more importantly, how good they have been at least getting kills on rotations. It must be so infuriating for ATK. Not only did you have Amanek lurking in mid, who, as I mentioned him earlier, he's been able to get a kill every single time that somebody's been rotating. He did it again, an impactful one at that, because Floppy was doing a lot of damage. And then literally moments later, they go, okay, well, we've killed the flanker, let's go rotating into the site. Hunter does exactly the same thing. And by that point, the retake was so disjointed.
I think Floppy just got knifed, by the way.
Luckily, it's in a round where it doesn't matter, and clearly it made him stronger.
Yeah. Lower HP, more kill potential. The A side's left a little bit open, though. There's still going to be 2 players there in the city with the pistols to potentially do something. JT is going to have a Galil picked up from earlier on. But unfortunately, they might not even have the time to make it work, and Hunter just decimates Modem with the headshot. So they're going to be able to flank in from behind. And Kenny's going to spot them, and also just want to point out, Nexa was able to save this op from the last round, so really trying to keep things on the up and up for the side of G2. He spots out 1 and 2. Actually, you know the third player's coming in from the backside. What a shot out of Kenny, though, onto JT. And at least all on a Sonic now against 3, and he's going to be cleaned up just as quickly as ever. One thing I am seeing, though, out of G2 is just, I said it before, but confidence. They look so confident in taking these aim battles. They look so confident in, like, pushing the sights, allowing Amanek and allowing Hunter, like you said before, to, like, patch the rotators. They're looking like a really solid team who's in a really good mental state.
Well, I think the thing as well is all of that is made possible by Nexa. And not even just because he's in-game leading, but because he's been entry fracking. Like, there's been 2 or 3 rounds now where he's just run towards that B site, pop someone's head, and then someone else gains space on the map, which is such a wonderful thing to have. It happened as well in middle, the same sort of thing. Like, when he's able to do that for the team, everybody else benefits from it, even if it's just a single kill. So that's why this T side so far has been very strong from G2. And I don't think we've really seen anything ridiculously impressive. Like, there hasn't been like massive amounts of executes where they've just been forcing people out of angles. They've just been winning opening duels, and it's going to happen for them again. Floppy with a big job to do, and now Jax has stepped up to the plate. He was someone who was so good over the last day or so, and he's going to be doing it once again, combined with Amanek. This round is looking over, and ATK, they're really starting to struggle to do anything over these last few rounds. Sonic, oh, I feel like he's a little bit unlucky. Eventually gets Jax. But there's Amanek once again through the smoke to get the trade. And OC, they know where he is, but he does have the bomb.
Turns into a little bit of King of the Hills. They're all pushing from different directions. He will fall, and G2 will be off to a flying start, 8-2. And finally, the timeout going to come in for ATK, and I think that was needed a couple of rounds ago just to talk some things over, because they're just losing, like you said, a lot of these aim battles. And we saw there, Jax just walks in the middle, gets 2 kills. Dominic gets the 3rd. Like, that ideally should not be happening. And they still had Kennyus for backup with an AWP, but he didn't even have a chance to get a single shot off. But we are seeing G2 go for the double op setup, though. And I don't know if I personally like it with the way they've been playing. It's not bad if you're, like, dominating that, you know, that aggressively, but at the same rate, it kind of... Did they just lose the gun over the side?
I don't know.
Was that a gun that just fell over the side?
Maybe.
Yeah, he threw the op over because now he has an SG.
Yeah, I don't think they bought that, at least.
I think they picked it up, but...
Yeah, so I think that's just basically the decision just to go, just chuck it.
That's so funny.
I wouldn't have actually minded to see him start the round with it, at least. Just, it would have been funny if it was one of those things with, like, the bomb, where it now just appeared on the top of the map, and you could see
Yeah.
free up. I'm very glad that that doesn't happen. It would also be terrifying if it did it with the people, and a dead body just, like, appears in front of you.
Well, just imagine if you throw a nade down there, and then it just appears on top of the map and blows up on someone. Challenge going to come in yet again for Nexa. Yeah, JT will get 1, but unfortunately, 1 and done. Actually, not even 1 and done. He loses 2 teammates in the meantime.
Where the bomb is. They really love leaving the bomb around this angle, and it's hidden, obviously, but with that aggression from the CT side, I can't say I like it. Like, there's so many positions where if they just manage to push that a little bit further, they find the bomb, and this round could be very damaging. And that's one thing that I think ATK have done quite well, is a lot of these pistol rounds, they've been able to bring them close. Unfortunately, I can see why they took so long to take a pause, and it's because I don't necessarily think they've been doing too much wrong. It's just that they've been out-fragged, which, okay, sure, that means you can take a change of strategy, like maybe group up and try and make a play together on the CT side. Things are going so badly wrong that you can't just play your spots anymore. But, well, it's just stuff like that, really. It's really difficult to deal with when everybody on G2 is performing, and as I said, they're looking like a team in form. They're looking like a team who is scary at this moment in time, and ATK, the previous, like that's the difference between them and North. North has a very high skill ceiling. We've said it a bajillion times, but they have not been in form for a while. And their players, when they are in form, okay, some of them can hit a ridiculous skill ceiling, but maybe not the skill ceiling of Kenny S, maybe not the skill ceiling of, like, Hunter. Like, those are players that have been specifically brought in to make an international roster because they are so talented, and it is working. Like, that's the best thing about it. I think that Nexa is definitely the glue that sticks this team together, but I think each part of this roster works very well. And I'm very excited watching G2 at the moment. It's enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm definitely enjoying this. This is the first time I've been able to catch G2 in this current iteration of the roster, but look how just aggressive they're being. Again, pushing towards the A site. Jax spots out JT, but Otis is there to protect him, but just as quick as they decide to push in, they pick up 2 kills. Bode is finally able to respawn. He's been able to slow the push a little bit to maybe allow the rotations to come through, but no, Hunter picks him off, and now it's going to be a 3-on-2.
Yeah, they've been just fantastic. Like, a lot of the time, players are trading 2 for 1 almost every time, which it's very difficult to lose a map when that's the case. And Floppy, something, there you go, he's given an angle. Kenny, so quick to get that back, and Amanek holding on to the upper positions. This is looking...
But we can say this, right? Wasn't it like 11-1 for G2 up against Sharks on Inferno? Something like that?
Yeah, but...
It wasn't this dominating, I'm guessing, but...
It didn't first... Well, it was, but at the same time, that was where Sharks then managed to scrape the last few rounds and then went on to the CT side and just basically started hitting all of their shots. Whereas G2 are now going to go onto the CT side of this map, where if they don't get 6 rounds, and they may not even need 6 rounds, then I'm going to be bitterly disappointed. Also, I think that they've got better as the tournament's gone on. I think that was sort of like a bit of a wake-up call. That was a team that they hadn't really played against, and it was a best of one that ultimately they closed out. Whereas this is a best of three that if they lose, they're out of the tournament. I think that's going to put a completely different sort of scope on this for G2. Like, okay, this is where we just dominate. This is where we don't take off the gas even for a second, because there is no way that we're going home.
I'll also kind of say this, that there's a lot of like matches I've seen where you'll have like this team who on paper should like dominate the other team, right? But then for some reason they play down to the skill level of the other team, and they're not able to play like the way they should.
Any Virtus Pro match ever in the history of any of their teams.
But I'm looking at G2 as being like reminiscent of like Fnatic, where they know they're the better team. They're playing with no respect. They're just running straight into the enemy team and out aiming them. Like they're not giving the respect to ATK, and they're showing that within their own gameplay. And I kind of like that, because that also gives them extra confidence, especially when it's working out for them like it has been.
Well, that's sort of the catch-22, because you see a lot of some of the top teams actually lose matches by showing too much respect for lower opposition. At the same time, you see top teams losing matches to lower opposition because they show them no respect, and then they don't actually manage to win those individual aim duels. So
yeah,
that's also a possibility. I actually think that's part of why we saw a bit of a comeback from Sharks yesterday, is that G2 was so far in the lead. I think it was 11-4 half in the end, where they were just trying to brute force the win. They went for some risky force buys, and it eventually took them getting really, really close to losing the match to go, okay, we kind of need to win this now, otherwise the game's going to slip. Props needs to go to Sharks for playing so well, but I do think that G2 maybe took a little bit too much out of it. Nice work, at least initially, from Floppy. What do you even do against that? Can he just headshots him through a wall in the corner? OC's got that second AWP as well, so Amaneka's going to go down. This is one of the best round starts we've seen from ATK. The problem being, though, that this seems like a last-ditch effort to win a round. Like, this does not seem something that's normally in their gameplay. Like, let's just throw double orbs in. Let's try and work the picks. We'll see if they can hold on to it, because that's been the problem. They've got picks before. It's just the trades have been unstoppable. Hunter's been spotted. He definitely won't know this. GT misses the opportunity, but luckily, Hunter walks into OC.
Looking like we could see ATK take a round, definitely with loading right here. Good trigger discipline comes through, and he will pick up a nice little double. Good job by ATK to get back on the board here. One thing I will say, though, it's not like I look at ATK now they've been playing and can like point it out to like one weak point. It's not like, oh, they've been losing B every round, or oh, they've been losing A every round, or middle every round, right?
Nexa.
Yeah, everyone's just losing every battle around the map. So it's not like there's an individual player or individual thing that G2 is taking advantage of. It's just, well, I guess you can say the entire thing they're taking advantage of is just the entire map. So it's definitely like, it has to be frustrating for ATK to not be able to win out on these duels.
But it's more frustrating that you're top 3 fraggers versus North when you won, and you're bottom 3 fraggers right now. Like, that just says it all. That's all you really need to talk about. Modern, Sonic, they're the players we need to see wake up. They were so good in their match yesterday, and they have found 2 opening picks in this one. It looks like they finally found that, like, fighting versus G2 early in the round is actually working out for them. Once again, though, I'm not counting G2 out of any of these rounds, just because of the way they've been playing so far individually. They've been fantastic. The synergy between the players has also been very, very good. Well, this is a round. This should be 11-4, but who knows?
Like I was saying before, the 6 maps played yesterday that I casted, 5 of them were 11-4s. We might be continuing that trend here yet again with ATK having a 2-man advantage. McKenny's still alive. Does get the tag on OC. Actually, OC doesn't even see him at all. It's knocked down to 1 HP. And the aggression's going to come through. ATK going to get the rotation. He's going to leave Sonic over at the B site by himself. Kenny just so fast. OC's at least able to get 1, though, before he does fall down. Leaves it now all on to Kenny. He's got the perfect scoreline. It's going to be ruined one way or another. We're going to find out within the next 30 seconds.
Just save.
yeah, exactly.
Stay elite. That's what we want. That's not a possibility. There's no way. There's absolutely no way he wins this round. It is going to be an 11-4 half, but ultimately the last couple of rounds are just a little bit of a lifeline thrown in for ATK. They have been dominated so far, and there needs to be a big change if they're going to come back in the second half of their map choice.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the continuation here of our first match of the day. G2 with an 11-4 first half on the T side of Vertigo, and ATK looking to take the pistol around here to start to grind back into this game before we move over to train top. We're going into this round now with 2 smokes and 2 flashes on the side of ATK, and they're already barreling in onto this A site.
It looks like we're going to get an almost identical setup as the last pistol. This is nice, though. They've got 2 players. Like, Amanek is basically, he's going to be the one to peek. He'll take the distraction away. We'll see how much he can do. Look, they're going to look for him, and they'll never expect Kenny. This is genius. This is just genius. It didn't even matter, really. They only needed 1 kill from it, but that is so smart. What we didn't see in the meantime is Hunter just killed everyone else.
Yeah, but I mean, we were looking at the genius play. Now we know what G2 stands for. Genius 2.
That would be the suckiest name. Also, especially because there's 5 members on the team, just like 2 of us are geniuses.
I mean, is that worse than Gamers 2?
I don't know.
Because now they don't use Gamers 2 anymore. There's G2.
Gamers 2.
I'm a Gamer 2. Well, now moving into our second round. Please don't kill me off, Slot. Of the second half. He's going to strangle me. If I ever found strangled by a scarf, it was him.
It has to be a fabulous scarf, though.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
it's
definitely.
a normal scarf, then someone's framed him. But
Yeah.
if it was a fabulous scarf, it's definitely Ocelot.
Well, we got the 4 Deagles and the P250 for ATK. There's so much more I want to say about my time with him during LCS. I just can't bring up on the broadcast. Jack's going to spot up multiple players in towards middle. The Nate going to come through, do some decent damage as well. And now Hunter's going to fall up to 1.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to matter because they've been able to get the first kill and should be able to rescue the weapon.
Fortunately, it's only an SMG. They actually kill off Nexa as well. This is starting to get a little bit worrying for G2. Hunter is there once again. He's been so good. And again, he's going to get 3 kills back-to-back round. JT, 53 HP. Oh, surprise, Kenny. Not the sort of surprise you'd want, but maybe the extra $600 you'll get if you get this kill might be. As now JT, I feel like I've seen so many 1 HPs throughout this tournament so far. It's starting to get a bit silly.
It is a little frustrating, right? To see that happen so often. But hey, at least he gives him a chance. 3-1 digs isn't out of the realm of possibility for JT. But with 20 seconds left, I think winning the round might be. Especially when they already have the bomb. And Kenny just having a little bit of fun of his food before Amanek comes in and cleans it up. 13-4 now. We're going to see ATK, well, unfortunately, not really be able to buy up into this. I'd imagine generally like a full save coming through. Because after this round, if they lose it, they cannot afford to really lose out on too much more if they want to have a chance on their map pick.
Yeah, I would say that they need a miracle. Because I just don't see G2 letting that many rounds slip. Like, they've been performing way too well. Like, Hunter's been off the charts. Seen some great rounds from Amanek. He was the one sort of weaker link yesterday, and he's been one of the best players today. So there's literally nothing going wrong for G2. Absolutely nothing. Maybe this. There you go. Amanek is going to fall, so they can at least make things a little bit more costly, but ultimately you've still got Nexa at the back of the site, and I've always put him in that bracket of players who's good for 2. In this round, I would say probably more. I'm going to try and put the pressure onto Hunter, but we've seen in the last round that didn't really work too well, even with Deagles and armor. So, and he had a FAMAS. Now, with an M4, I think they're just hoping to find some space. Luckily, Jax is only on 18 HP, and any kills they get here is beneficial. Even if it's just to get an extra smoke or an extra HP. The fact is, though, Kenny's just killing it. Continues his way on. There's going to be an AWP coming in the next round. He's gone in with 9 grand.
It's about like a third of your day rate, right?
Oh, yeah. Maybe in my dreams.
Yeah, well done for Kenny. He gets, what, a 3K there? Ends up getting picked off for the last second, but he's got the op. They've got a decent buy here on the side of U2, even with a FAMAS for Nexa. On their side, though, we see the 4 SGs and the AK. The utility there as well. This is ATK's chance to get back into this map before they head over to Train. And honestly, with the way G2 have been already playing on Vertigo, I would be scared to face them on Train. Especially Kenny, who's been hitting some sick shots so far on the op.
Oh, we are going to see this challenge. It's not really much of a bonus round at all for G2. They've just gone straight in with the 4-buy, knowing that they could close this here and now. Lots of utility being expended, even a cone thrown at Kenny.
Is that from the fire? Did the Molotov just like throw the cone?
Let's not talk about that. Like, in reality, it would probably melt, and if that was the case, I think this would be a very weird game if Kenny died from toxic fumes. But Amanek, his support is going to go down. Hunter has found another. He seems to be one of the best players I've seen so far, is lurking around that side alley, doing damage. Gets aggressive though, and is caught because of it. Leaves Kenny as the main man on the site, spotting for Floppy, hoping he can find something through the edge of the smoke. And even just look at Jax. You can see him sneaking his way through behind, trying his best to make no sound. They haven't actually managed to get the bomb down or anything, so he doesn't need to rush. And they were desperately trying, or hoping, that Floppy would win that duel. Jax is going to go peeking in from behind. OC may have just missed the timing on that as well. Pop Flash going to try and give some space over. So quick from Kenny on the flick, and he can't quite close it. But now Jax starting to come in from behind. Nexa just waiting patiently. OC just going to try and fake out that bomb plant, try and get them to push that a little bit more aggressively. I don't think he has any idea that Jax is coming in, but he hits the headshot. Look through the second and almost gets it. That was so close from OC. 3 kills and, well, 94 damage onto Nexa. Unfortunately, that has been the story of their game. Nothing seems to be going right. 15-4. Absolute domination from G2, and well, this is what comes of it for ATK. Their last-ditch effort, their last attempt to get themselves back into the game. They need 11 rounds in a row, and even if you are a massive fan of the team and you love the South African scene, which I have to say, I quite like what I'm seeing from them recently, I don't think you're sat there believing that they can turn this.
Yeah, it's just been a flat-out blindy performance out of G2 so far. Floppy does at least fade in the shot out of Jax, so he knows at least one player's going to be here. But look at Hunter, look at the confidence coming through. He gets one, 8 HP left. Looks like he's going to be able to escape from this.
Oh my
Shoot
God.
everywhere except him, and Hunter still gets the kill back. The man he was trying to spray down with 8 health gets one, and then Kenny S as well. Picks up a double. This man is just not missing shots. Now it's all on Sonic in a 1-on-5. He will get the first kill to Nexa. I was getting real scared that was going to end.
Oh, I thought he was going to die.
Well, he will eventually, it looks like. Kenny holding the angle.
Oh, okay. Doesn't matter in the end. An absolute lights-out performance for G2. There was not a point in this map where they did not look like they were going to win. Looking like an in-form side, and I think Don't just. I saw like when Harry and Hugo were casting, they were getting some ridiculous numbers. I think Betway just don't like giving us the big numbers.
Oh,
You know?
I mean, they did tweet about us.
I'm pretty sure they just said I was mean.
I mean, they're not wrong.
I am a lovely human.
Well, here we go. G2 on the T side, ATK on the CT, and they definitely need a strong start here, considering when G2 swapped to CT. Seeing Kenny S on the op, because he's not been missing too many shots. He's been hitting his true kind of performance that we've seen in the past out of him. It seems like G2 are definitely more about taking their time here. You can see Modem looking to potentially go up the ladder if the engagement comes in on the lower bomb site. But you can see Modem already been taken down from a grenade, but gets the kill on the Hunter either way.
Again, that's going to stop any sort of flank coming in for G2. They've done so much damage, though, from these two remaining players. Molotov into the connector to cut off rotation. Sonic goes running through it. He almost dies. Just 5 HP. But it may be worth the kill that he gets. Modem, he's on a very quick flank. They should expect this. They know that the player's not holding onto it anymore. Nexa has been so clinical throughout the day so far. And with Sonic so low, JT with a kit, and well, now JT the only one remaining. I can't see this going too well. Eventually, he'll be closed out. And G2, they're going to get themselves yet another pistol.
You know, I don't know if you saw on Reddit today, there was a nice little video made by someone, I don't have the name off the top of my head, who made a video about when you're peeking device. And it was just a recap of Liquid versus Astralis, ECS, and how whenever you came around a corner into his crosshair, would just take your head off. I feel like that's exact same thing that's happening here with ATK. It's like ATK when you peek G2.
I think specifically Nexa. Like just the way that he's been, because he is one of those players where if he's holding an angle, it's so tough to get past. Nonetheless, looking like they might be. I thought they were going to go for the same again, but the bomb's down in the spawn, so it'll be a little bit more of a slower round. Made damage doing quite well, but the double scouts have already caused some damage. Amanek down to just 29 HP. I'm interested to see where they actually gather up to. It is looking like an A hit. Trying to nade JT to oblivion, but he's actually all right. And with the 5-7 in play, I don't think they're going to opt to challenge that this time. It didn't go too well in the previous round. And while now building up for what looks like that A take. You've got a big advantage in terms of weaponry, but the scouts can still do the work.
Yeah, I mean, Omenek's already taken some damage, I believe, from it earlier on. Floppy and Sonic looking to do the deed, do the damage they need to here. Jates, in the meantime, has been able to take down Hunter. I believe it was over towards Pop, if I'm not mistaken. But still, the rest of G2 charges straight in, and Jax, he's honestly just carrying over his performance from the last game, from the last match. 3 kills for him so far already, looking for number 4. And Omenek's going to be able to, actually no, Nex is going to be the one to steal that away, and he will get the 4K. G2 pick up the second round, and now potentially a third here, as we have ATK going on the save.
Yeah, this is where we can see G2 build up the cash. This is also the thing that kind of worries me, because I think that if G2 have a good T side, I think this is done. Like, that's where teams really do seem to struggle on this map, especially if you're not finding entry kills. It becomes very, very difficult to actually just strategically outmaneuver a team on either side of the map. Obviously, it's much more likely you'll be able to get a bomb down on the B side, but on the A side, if you're not getting opening picks, the chance of you winning a round is so slim. At the same time, individually, G2 have been fantastic. Like, there's been so much strong performances across the board from them so far, and if ATK are not able to have a strong CT side, I think they are out of this map.
Okay. I think they did the double Molotov strat.
I think they also double naded as well. Nice shots from Floppy, though. There's definitely evidence that these ATK players have a lot of individual skill. Unfortunately, it seems like they're not quite matching up to G2 at the moment.
Again, you know, if you guys just join us, we did talk about, though, for ATK, give them a little bit of limelight, is the fact that this is a team that wasn't even supposed to be in the Pro League. They were playing at MDL. They filled a slot from a team that couldn't field a roster. Ended up playing in a group with, well, at the time, Renegades, now 100 Thieves, and Liquid. They're able to qualify through the second group stage and put on a performance against North that I think no one out there expected. Able to 2-0 them. They've been able to gain a lot of international experience. And I'm excited to see where they go in the next season of Pro League, maybe to take that experience and turn it into some victories. Help really step up their game. But we're going to the first gun round for them. I think this is where we're going to get our first initial sign of how ATK will be able to handle Train.
Sonic definitely heard that. So he should be very careful peeking into these angles now with the boost coming in next. He just managed to walk out. Modem's going to be completely caught. And there's always a second. JT doesn't even know. In fact, there's just been kills coming in all across the map. Was worried about whether or not they'd be able to get entry frags. This has been so easy for G2. They literally just walked in. They didn't even have to try, and they're just killing everyone. That's a ridiculous round. Every single player on G2 gets a kill. That is mad.
How does Nexo walk out, kill Modem, and then spam down on the Sonic? Like, how doesn't Sonic turn around? I'm a little bit confused there. I know he obviously had to worry about Hunter coming down ladder, but he was in a position where he could be seen. I don't know, miscommunication, but I don't know what the answer would be in that situation. But G2, just like you said, walking out. A free round for them, pretty much. And the confidence, well, it's still there from the first map. They're still continuing to do this, pushing out yet again. Nexa leading the charge. Unluckily for him, there's going to be a smoke in the way at the moment, but that's going to be fading momentarily. So many different targets to go for. Spots out the scout, gets the spray on the first, gets the second. Third would just be the cherry on top. Hunter will steal that away, but either way, the damage has been done. They're going to get the outer bomb site, and they're going to have this round.
Yeah, this has just been squeaky clean so far from G2. 5 rounds already on the T side, and that's sort of what you look at as basically your minimum. Like, and they've already hit it in 5 rounds, so it's going fairly well. I think obviously ATK now need to have a step up. They're going to bring in the double AWPs, which I like to see. I think Sonic is one of those sort of star players within the roster who can take over a map if he can get going, especially with the AWP. At the same time, though, the man on the other side, again, is Kenny with $11,000 and an AWP in his hands. He can't really ask for much more. They're just going to continue to try and brute force this. Hunter now wants a piece of the pie. Modem has been killed within the first few seconds of every round so far. Now, it just can't keep happening. He's being caught out. They can't really deal with just the sheer amount of aggression that's coming in. Finally, a kill goes back, but look how much damage has been done in return. Through the smoke is going to go Hunter. He may even just wait on the corner of it. There's possibilities if the timing's right. The flashbang comes through, though, and Hunter gets both. This is unreal from G2 at the moment, and Sonic, well, it was someone I mentioned that would need to have a star performance, but I don't think this is possible.
Bomb has been planted.
I don't even know what you do here for ATK. I mean, maybe try to go for the double op setup kind of thing. Hope that Modem doesn't die early on. You play a little bit more passive, look for the, you know, initial kills. But then you're just giving up full control to G2, and I mean, they've already been able to take the control. And yeah, this round they lost 1 or 2, but if they're able to do it without losing a single player, playing an afterplan situation like that, I don't know how ATK are going to be able to retake against that, especially on the outer bomb site. Now Sonic trying to save the AWP into the next round. Omnic on the lurk for him. I imagine Sonic should be able to get this kill. Oh, he doesn't actually spot Omnic out, and now if Omnic looks towards CT spawn, he's going to have a free op. And there you go, losing all their weapons. Did they actually, I think they lost Hunter to the bomb, by the way.
Yeah, the worrying thing is it doesn't matter. Like, it really doesn't matter. They have so much money on the T side that they could buy for like the next 4 or 5 rounds, and then loss bonus is going to continue. Like, it's just going to be silly 2 players over 100 ADR. Everybody else is actually relatively close. I don't even know what you say at this point. Like, if you're ATK and we're only in the first 6 rounds, the problem is this has been so dominant and so just aggressive from G2 that basically until you shut them down, until you finally basically show them that they can't keep doing this, they're just going to keep doing it. They're going to keep running over you. Every single player's performing. The kill distribution, it's not like one player's just done everything. It's between 7 and 5. This is a scary looking G2, and sure, they said it at the beginning. Like, I think ATK had a very good day yesterday. It doesn't seem like the same is happening today, but this G2 roster could go on to beat some very dangerous teams later on if they continue to play with this level of confidence, with this level of dominance. Once again, it's going to go running in. The pistols at least doing some damage. You've got to be careful. There's a second player on the site who is actually going to be mocked him. He hits a dink. The flashbang is fantastic, but he has to reload while they're all blind. Finally, he'll actually gets a second as well. This has been the closest round we've seen so far, and they may actually be able to win it. It's left onto Jax. He's reloading. An orb's been picked up from JT. How is this the round that's going to slip away? Maybe a little bit too much confidence, maybe a little bit of luck, but hey, ATK, they're onto the board, and that's going to be a big boost for their morale.
I will say this though, Tom, not to be the glass half empty kind of guy. G2 just ran through a smoke. They gave them opportunities to pick up kills. I mean, Odom obviously hit a couple of good shots there, but if they didn't play in that kind of sense of no respect, I don't know if ATK would have won it with just those pistols alone. I mean, either way, though, they pick up the round, they get the buy-up they need. They're going for the double-up setup with OC and Sonic, and we're going to see G2 respond. They obviously still have the money anyways. And even though Jack still has 8K, he buys up a Mac 10.
I don't know. Well, it does seem like this world is based around, like, when you have money, you want more. So it may be down to a strategy. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we just see them, even though that failed, just blast into the B site again. Like, 2 Mac 10s when you go through the ramp is really not that much of a detriment. That you can maneuver so much more easily, and, well, the aggression can pay off. We'll see. Maybe it's going to be something to do with pop as well. Like, getting up close can definitely work for them, but yeah, it's looking like the Prior. A straight rush into this B site. Good luck, Floppy. The nade's going to be thrown out. He has the incendiary to try and slow them down. That nade did catastrophic damage, and he's going to be able to start things off well. Finally, shutting them down. 3 kills from Floppy. Amanek is going to trade 1 back, but that should be too little too late. They're even going to spot him out as well. Great job from Floppy. And, well, Kenny can't even clutch this one out. A 6-2, a double attempt at a fast round, trying to catch off ATK. And, well, now we sit with the second round on the board and some money being built up by the CT side.
Well, if Floppy doesn't get that nade in and doesn't get the 3 kills, I think ATK would have lost that round. Having the double up, trying to retake would be so damn difficult. We can see there, initial kill and the spray down onto Hunter and Nexa. Really well done out of him. Keep ATK in this. They get the second round like you mentioned. They have the buy-up still. Trying to get a little bit of extra money in their pockets as you have OC on 7K. G2, again, I mean, they have the 2 Mac 10s. They still have tons of money anyways. They're going to get the full force back into this round. And actually, what is this? Amanek, like, he has 2000, but he's not buying the extra utility. I don't know, he's sitting with the Molotov and a smoke. Kenyas takes a lot of damage from the Molotov and the nade that came through. Confidence, well, it's still oozing out of G2, but it might start to work against him. OC's hitting some shots. The morale's been built up, the confidence. They continue to hit the shots. He gets his 3rd as well, the 4th, but the no-scope not gonna land, but doesn't matter, Flop will be there in the end. Now it's all on Kenny against 3. And that nade should end it. Oh, really gets around.
This is starting to look a lot better. They've finally been able to shut down those really aggressive plays from G2. It probably means that now G2 are going to finally just go, okay, we have to stop just trying to rush them down. That was something I mentioned. Like, you have to make G2 respect you. Because that didn't happen in Vertigo at any point in the map where there was a point where you go, okay, G2 are out of this, or they're struggling. So they just carried on doing what they were doing, hitting their shots, pulling rotations, and making things very difficult for ATK. This time, it's now going to be 3 in a row. Failed attempts at just fast plays. So I think this will be the moment where Nexa either A, takes a pause, which I think is fairly unlikely, or B, just goes, okay, we'll play our default. We'll give Kenny a chance to try and get an opening pick with the AWP. We're still going to have a reasonable amount of money. There's something also that was said. It's like, because they had so much cash, sure, they've spent a load of it, but now they've got a couple of rounds of loss bonus. They'll get 2,400, which leaves, well, the worst case at the moment is, what, 3,800 for Nexa. So not really bad at all. He can buy an AK. Everybody else can buy flawlessly. And if Kenny saves the AWP, then he could even drop an AK over if he wanted to.
He's been able to save the AWP for the full minute. ATK not going for the chase onto it. But yeah, starting to get something going for them. 3 rounds. They're going to need every CT side around they possibly can. Let's see what G2 does decide to go for here. No pause coming through, but yeah, I mean, if you're G2, like I love when teams play with no respect, but I hate when teams continually play with no respect after they start to lose rounds. I want to see that little switch up, like, okay, all right, we can't keep doing this, as you mentioned before. Probably that switch will come into this round. You know, we can't just keep rushing through. We have to start to, you know, flash for each other, look for picks, execute some strats. G2 investing 3 flashbangs off the bat, straight in towards middle. And Kenny's been able to get straight down pop. He might have JT here off to the side. He gets the initial shot, almost gets the tag onto the player behind him. Man advantage back here to G2.
They're going to just try and execute off of this pick. Kenny even trying to go through the smoke. He's a little bit of the bait player as everybody else makes their way around the side. Modem finally starting to show some life, but it's still going to be a man advantage in the favor of G2. And more importantly, just look at Hunter. This is exactly what Hunter does best. Oh, this timing could be wonderful, though. Modem, he doesn't know that the man with the bomb is currently behind him. It's actually going to be just him walking down the ramp. I think Hunter might be facing the wrong way as well, so this should be the free kill onto him. This might be the panic signs. OC also catches that kill. It's going to be left all onto Nexa in the end. Oh, it's timing. But it worked just about for Modem. He burns down the clock enough. He still gives Nexa that full sense of hope that this B site is going to be completely clear. But this 1v1 could still decide the round.
He's going to go Nexa's way. Now he's going to be in the 1v1 up against OC. Op versus Galil. There's still a lot of utility left for both players to use. A bit of a risky spot to plan in, but now OC trying to get the high ground. We expect him to be on the in-betweens on the bomb site. He's giving away his position now. Nexa trying to play around with the time off top being thrown. He tries to peek it. And OC gets the kill and gets the round, but Modem, that's the one you have to watch out for. That flank coming through on 100, the delay was phenomenal. And also the kill on the Kenny has to start off the round for him as well. They were down in a 3-on-5, and they were able to pull that one back.
Yeah, he's the man that we've mentioned from yesterday who was performing so well, and he had a high impact play in this round. Sure, it still came down to OC to clutch it out, and as said, bomb plant, loss bonus, it's going to be continuous buys for G2 on this T side. They've already got 6, but I still feel like if they come out in a 9-6, they're not going to be happy with that, because that would be a pretty poor turnaround if they lose 9 rounds in a row.
Yeah, and I honestly don't see G2 losing 9 rounds in a row.
Saw them lose quite a few versus Shark, so there's still that thought in the back of my mind. They have looked a lot better than that, to be fair, and that round was incredibly close. So I don't think they really did anything wrong strategically. It was just that they got caught.
Yeah, I mean, Moto flagrant behind Kenny alleviated the pressure that because they dropped the bomb towards spawn, it forced I think it was Nexa to like just go back into spawn to pick up the bomb to go then in towards the B site, and then Hunter not looking behind them when Pop Dog was available to, you know, go up and flank. I think some slight mistakes, but more importantly, I think it was Modem taking advantage of like how spread out G2 was. Now here we go, round 11. Double op still being held on to by OC and Sonic. We're seeing G2 force up here as well. Nexa, this is what we saw when they were successful in the first 6 rounds. Him just pushing down. Modem doesn't even know he's behind him, and Nexa gets the first kill.
Still going to be a trade back. Modem again. Utility damage over the last few rounds has been the big difference maker when it comes to these aggressive plays. Nexa trying to lurk around. He knows that JT's here in the turnaround, gives him a kill. Even another one for Nexa as well. As mentioned, he's been so good throughout the day. Almost managing to close the round on his own. Floppy down to just 46. Sonic on 17. The rest of the team, well, I was going to say I haven't been able to do too much, but look at this man once again. You would think that after the last round, there might be at least a slight smidgen of fear in the heart of Hunter, but not to be the case. Ooh, a bit of a miss from Amanek. That was an opportunity, but it doesn't matter in the end. Back on the board of G2. It wasn't that long a hiatus, and the CT side, they'll have a bye. However, they've wanted double orbs. That can't happen. They wanted lots of utility.
That's like glass cannon, then maybe.
But that would also be Motum dropping it, and then, like, I mean, they want a double op on Sonic and OC. So if Motum drops him, then he has a glass cannon rifle, and considering his position, that would be really stupid, because he's one of the players most likely to get hit from grenades, so I'm happy we're not going to see that. Kenny slowed down a little bit, but still happy to go for those early aggressive peaks. They're looking to get back into the rhythm of just blasting out onto this A site. Utility has been minimalized now, and that gives them so much space. And oh my god, what is going on? Like, I don't think there's much many teams could do against this at the moment. Just brute force headshots into the site. The CT's already looking to just hold on to their remaining guns, and well, it does seem like that maybe G2 were just having a bit of a break, having a chill for a few rounds, and then just went back to the same script.
I mean, ATK need to hold these weapons because they have no money. They won 4 rounds straight, so the loss bonus is completely gone for them. And this is going to mean G2 should be getting up to 9 just off of that alone.
I think that round came down solely to the fact that because ATK's buy was a bit weaker, they couldn't throw the same grenades. And they also haven't really been challenging for pop. I think that is one of the holes in their defense. Like, the fact that that control is just given over to G2, they've started to exploit it.
Was it Sonic originally? It was Sonic originally holding it, right? But they wanted to get him the op. And I don't imagine you want to hold pop.
I think it was Motum.
No, Motum's been holding, like, in the yard.
No, I mean, like, in the pistol, it was Motum because he then came around on the flank.
Yeah.
I think that's the only round I remember them actually properly fighting it.
We had, I think it was Sonic. He actually was able to hold it, I think, once. There's a round where he got flanked by, I think it was Nexa just walking straight out, gets a kill on a Motum, then turns around and almost kills him in pop. But the fact is, like, there is no person holding pop every round for ATK. So
and also,
giving
like,
that free control.
It's not so much that, it's the fact that in a round where you don't have any utility, they can't do what they were doing before, which is just smoke it off, Molotov it off, and, like, basically force Kenny to have to go for risky plays. Instead, that round they had 3 players burst out pop, and they didn't even like have to flash it or anything. They just jumped down.
Yeah.
They knew there was no one there. And you can't give that to G2. You can't just give them a portion of the map that it is also so valuable and just basically go, yeah, you can have that for free, and we don't have anything to even damage you as you get there. It's just too much space, and a team like G2 are going to exploit that, and they have been. They've already won the T half. I said there needed to be a strong CT side from ATK. It's not looking like that's about to happen, and I just don't think they're going to be able to grind like 9 rounds plus on the T side. Like, I'd be very impressed if they do, but I wouldn't expect that from most teams, let alone a team that's a heavy underdog.
Well, don't worry. 6 out of the last 7 maps have gone 11-4. There's still the potential for it to happen here for 7 out of 8. Kenny S gets the next follow-up shot. Floppy does get a nice double onto Ivy. It's quickly going to be turned on. 2 kills is not bad. They're going to have the money to finally buy up here yet again. But G2, they've got a bankroll behind them. And they got the confidence. I mean, they're just oozing confidence right now.
Well, that is the problem of those early round wins. Like, having 5 in a row that were that clean, it basically just set them up. Was it even 6 in a row? It just set them up to be in a position where they never actually got their economy broken. Like, it got a little bit dicey towards the end, but then all it took was a bomb plant, and then when they win, they just go back to having loads of cash again and winning a streak. So ATK have had the unfortunate truth of they've never actually been able to build any money, and they've never been able to face off against an eco. So now they come back in, they don't have the AWP, which, well, as you can see, OC's one of the top fraggers in the server. Floppy's done well on the B site, but it's been the A site that they've been struggling with. And as you can see, Motum's had a bit of a resurgence, but not enough to really change anything. And yeah, that's where they've just been going every single round. And can you really blame G2 for just continually fighting this? They have 9 rounds on the T side of train.
Yeah, and I would be surprised if they continue to do it here. This time, though, it's not going to be Nexa rushing out main. Maybe looking to penetrate the B side defense, which actually I think has been like one of the saving graces for ATK to get them up to 4. It has been this B side. They've been able to, you know, hold Floppy, thinking back to a couple of rounds prior. We got the phenomenal nade damage through, then the triple. Jax catches JT, pushing up aggressively. Man advantage back for G2. Yet again in another round, Bottom now is going to have a chance. But he gets just randomly sprayed by Almanac. Still, though, able to get the kill and back off. Oh. It's a little bit yikes moment for Nexa there. But again, no one's towards Pop. No one's contesting this. No one's controlling this position for ATK. And we're going to find out if G2 can use that to their advantage.
Wouldn't be surprised. They have been so good at holding on to this. All the utility's gone. Modem and a straight fight with Amanek is going to lose. And OC on the side without his trusty AWP. He'll take a few more bullets. Sonic trying to fight up close. The pre-fire spray is not enough. And just like that, they all fold, leaving Floppy alone. He has been the saving grace. He's looking to be again, but Hunter not going to allow him to get any more done. AWP will be saved. The money once again is going to be an issue for ATK. They're going to get a bare bones buy, and it's just been troublesome so far for this ATK roster. Double digits here for G2 on the T side of their map choice. They're looking unbelievable.
They are, and now we're going to the last round of the half. You see ATK, what, SMG, 3 FAMAS, Scout. Haven't been able to win even with the best of buys sometimes. Let's see if they can do something with this and potentially get a 5th round. Next to drop straight into Pop. One of the, I guess, perfect positions for JT to use this weapon. And again, the confidence might be working against G2 here. It looks like ATK have been able to fight themselves back into this one. They have a 3-man advantage. Kennius on 2 HP, Jax on 23.
They had everyone on A. Like, ATK finally just went, screw it. Right, we're just going to stack it. Let's just send everyone in this direction. Let's just basically slam G2 straight into the ground, because they've just been doing the same thing over and over and over again. And hey, why not? It's going to be now the CT side. Still with a load of smokes. I don't think there's any chance really for Jax to do anything in this scenario. Well, in a 1v5, this should be a 10-5. So your curse has been broken, Jason. It's not going to be an 11-4 this time.
Watch Jax just get like 3 kills in like 3 seconds. It's not going to happen.
If he does, if he wins this, I think that ATK should just forfeit the rest of the match. That is a nice shot. Can't deny. Like, he's going to get to pad his stats a little bit. It's worth noting as well that every single player from G2 is in double digits, which you normally see like somebody up and above, but in this case it's just been a pure team performance. Great work from G2. They go on to the CT side, and while this could be the final half in the tournament for ATK, unless they can pull off a fantastic T side.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're now back here with the second half of our match between G2 and ATK. Currently 10-5 at the end of the first half for G2 on the T side. But now they swap on to the CT side and ATK. Their tournament lives on the line here. This pistol round so desperate for them that they need to have a chance to take it over to Inferno as our third and final map. Tom, hit it, give it to me straight. Are ATK going to be able to pull this back?
No.
Okay. Well, at least I can depend on you to give it to me straight.
I'm not really the pillar of optimism unless I'm casting with Pimp, because I don't really have a choice. But yeah, in this sort of scenario, like G2 have looked fantastic. They pulled out a large amount of rounds on the harder side of the map. They'd have to let it go, and this is exactly what I mean. Like, Kenny just hits an instant one-tap, doesn't give Sonic even a chance. They've been strong in their pistol rounds. They've been good at building up economy. They've been good at keeping rounds clean. Like, they basically have everything going their way. Like, something would drastically have to change, not only for ATK to start performing better, but for G2 to be playing worse. Because I don't even know if ATK could compete even if they were playing their best right now, because G2 seem to be doing the same. This is just clinical. Every single player is just performing. There hasn't been a missed shot. And that's as good as it gets, Jason. That is as good as it gets in a pistol round.
All right, so I hope Jack is already in the taxi on the way here, because you know what? This match might be ending momentarily here. 11-5. G2. Like, what do you do for ATK? You can't buy up in this round. You couldn't get a kill in the last round. A little bit unfortunate because Sonic had the drop on Kenny. Yes, he had the shadow, but he misses the first shot, and then Kenny just instantly one-taps him down. Should be 12 here, I would imagine, for G2, and I think next might be looking for some money as well. So in there with the MP9. Might even come in towards the lower bomb site, or the inner bomb site, I should say, but they have an incendiary grenade ready. Oh, this is going to be tough. They might be able to rush him down, but again, straight into the meat grinder.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh yeah, that's as good as that gets as well. Just a single grenade used, and that was enough. Hey, that was the eco round. You can forgive that one. Now we come in with the buy, and well, you don't normally get such a good chance at a bonus round. Obviously, they're still going to have a few struggles rebuying into the next if G2 do lose this round, but that's the question. Do they even lose this round? They've still got 4 rifles. They've got way more utility. The MP9 onto Nexa. He's going to be playing close. And again, he's one of my favorite players when it comes to just playing a role on a site, like just holding it down. Very good at that. Jack's looking to get aggressive. The Molotov goes down, but they catch him with his pants down. Good timing coming out from the T side as they look to recreate some of the G2 magic we've seen previously. Amanek's going to go down without a kill as well. This is looking like the best chance to start things off for this T side.
They still have 3 players left to find, though. And those 3 players are putting up a decent fight. Now down to a 3-on-2. Kenny just trying to get around the corner in time. They will have control of the site. They have to worry about Nexa flanking in from the backside, though, and no one's actually currently watching this. Obviously, the SMG is not going to be the best weapon to have in this situation for him. However, him and Kenny can work together. If he can actually just sneak up, JT actually walking straight in towards a trap, but will Next actually expect him in that corner? No, unfortunately he will not. Now Kenny all on his lonesome. And a 1-on-3. He does have the kit, but no utility. And no HP left. And ATK will be able to pick up the first gun round.
This is sort of the problem of having that many rifles, is that now your bonus round kind of sucks. It's not going to be ideal. Like, Amanek and Jax can't really buy. I don't even know if they're going to go for it, because Kenny just straight up bought a Deagle. The thing that was making me think maybe they did is just because Hunter had enough to drop Kenny and AWP, and in my eyes, that's enough to win a round. Like, especially with the way that they've been playing so far. But no, they're going to play it safe. I like this from G2. Don't really need to take the risk. Just be patient, wait for your 4-buy. You're going to have a much better buy going into the next round, and maybe they won't even need it, because Kenny's already got a 1-dig. He does get flashed off. Good utility usage. But at the same time, there's still players to deal with. There has been a bit of investment here. Hunter with a rifle, looking to just make things as costly as possible. Amanek with the scout. He's now the only one standing, but even he's dropped an extra player. I don't expect to be anything more from this, but even still, there's 3 kills coming out from G2 in a round where they didn't fully invest. Now they even still, though, this buy is still going to have pieces missing. I feel like Amanek spent a little bit too much.
I do just want to point out, by the way, Floppy's on 19 kills, and OC only got up to double digits from that last round.
They're not buying again. I think they just spent too much. Because that's what it looks like, at least. Because they definitely, like, before Hunter could have bought him an AWP, Aminet could have bought fine if he just didn't buy the scout. So, yeah, I think maybe G2 just overspent a little bit here. Still going to just wait for their full buy. And again, they did a lot of damage in the last round, but that's a bit disappointing.
Oh, and they almost won with this awkward buy in the last round. Maybe they can do it here.
It's definitely a possibility, especially with the rotations that they're already throwing in. Like, there should be 3 players on this side by the time all of the grenades rain in. It's going to be Jax waiting on the site, but this is looking like maybe a bit of an elaborate ruse. They've baited them in here. Modern will go down, and that should be a rifle at least that either G2 can look to try and use in the retake or just save.
No, Dominic can get a kill at the scout. Get the man advantage over to G2. Maybe there's a chance for them to pull this one off. They're actually rotating in, going for this one. They have no kit currently on them, however, so they have to pick up the pace and go a little bit faster than they currently are to get this diffused through. Dominic now going to be with the SG. JT's going to peek around, take down Kenny S. He's eventually going to be overwhelmed, though, so 1-for-1 trade coming through. Down to the last 2 players on the side of ATK. Sonic trying to hold on with Floppy, gets himself a nice little double, puts himself on to 21 kills, and Sonic's going to be in the one-on-one. Omnic with no kit won't have a chance. So the damage has been done yet again. G2 able to get 4 kills in this round.
Yeah, they're keeping this T side very honest, and now they can actually come in with a buy of their own. It is interesting to note that Floppy is currently the top fragger in the whole server, which kind of mad considering the current scoreline. He has been the one glimmer of hope for this side so far, and
it's like watching Renegades yesterday. No, not Renegades, 100 Thieves, when you had Gratisfaction drop 20-something kills on Dust 2 in 1/2, and then they still lost.
Or I could think of one better example.
Yeah, but that was like, that example was like way better. Like, yeah.
I don't know.
The amount of kills he got was way different.
If you drop 44 kills in regulation and still lose, that's pretty impressive.
Like just, you know, like when I'm, blank videos that come out. Usually like at major times, it's usually about teams and like they lose like matches like really badly. It's like when I'm Fnatic and it's just Crim's getting all these kills and then the final scene is just them losing the match or the map.
Yeah, they did get through in the end, which is the most important thing for Fnatic. I think that will be obviously something they've had to look over, but at the same time, something they'll probably forget.
I don't think Crim's will, though. He got a title under his belt now.
Be rubbing it in. It's like,
yeah.
You had a bit of a bad day today. It's like, did you drop 44 kills in a match and lose?
You can't say anything until we're just gonna like throw that at you. Crims, why don't you hold the B side? I don't know. Why don't you drop 44 kills in the match? ATK now, they have been able to get quite a few rounds on this T side. That nade or OC down to 41 health. Thing is, they're getting rounds, but they're not getting them cleanly like G2 was so far this entire series. That flashbang was a little bit unfortunate. Totem drops down, 1-for-1 trade comes through, but again, it's just a fake. They're gonna be hit on the outer site. There's only gonna be one player to defend, and it's Omnic yet again.
This has been fantastic so far from ATK. Yeah, the rounds have been close, but the one thing they've done brilliantly is just force rotations out from G2, just bait them into gambling their players on the other side of the map. The problem is in the previous rounds, they've held on by the skin of their teeth with just SMGs, just pistols. Now there's plenty of rifles to be on the other side. Floppy once again is going big, 23 kills to his name. Jumping in will be Hunter, and OC takes his head off. And we're going to get a 9th onto the board now for ATK. What was looking like a done match has started to get a bit scary for G2. And I think that most of that is just due to their rotations. They've been off a few times in a row, and in the pistol rounds, you can give that away, but ATK have just done a fantastic job of going, okay, we're going here, psych! It's going to be the other side.
They did 2 rounds in a row.
Yep.
I would imagine G2 won't let that happen a 3rd time.
You'd hope.
Yeah. So then my question to ATK is, do you have another strategy that works that effectively that you can throw into the mix? Luckily for them, though, there's not a lot of money on the side of G2, so it's not like they can fully buy up into this round. You got Jax with the AUG, you got Hunter with an ump, Omnic with a scout, and CZ's for the rest. But yeah, we haven't really seen many clean rounds out of ATK, out of the 4 they've taken now on this T side.
Ooh, that's a nice start. Jax is already going to be gone, and with the stack initially being over onto the B site, that means that the A site is already firmly under the control. And they've got to be careful. A little bit of damage done, but this is looking like that first proper clean round coming in. Amanek has been good with the scout so far, but hey, double digits. I didn't expect us to even get here, to be honest. And ATK, with the way they've been playing the T side, maybe there are opportunities. You can see them gaining in confidence, and G2 haven't really come close in a lot of the rounds now to actually closing them out.
Thing is, though, if Floppy's not dropping, what is he on, 30 kills now, probably? Probably around there?
I think he's on 25.
If he's not dropping these ridiculous numbers, then like ATK would definitely not have been as close as it currently is. But here we go. Like I said, double digits coming through. G2 should be back on the buy up here. We've not seen the double up setup coming out of G2. I don't think we've really seen the op out of G2 on the CT side. This is my question voice to you.
I think they had it once. That was where they saved all of that money for 2 rounds in a row, and then in the third one, I think Kenny bought it. Because otherwise, he had 4 grand for no reason. So I think he just died so fast you didn't even see it.
Okay. Well, they're not going to go double up this time.
Please tell me Amanek's gonna buy.
Maybe he's just talking with the team right now, trying to figure some things out.
The thing is, even this buy that they currently have, like, because they saved a couple of those weapons, it's gonna have some like weaker components in it, just based off the fact that they want to not waste weaponry. And that just seems like an odd thing to do at 12-10. You know, give them extra utility, but the pace that ATK have been throwing into these rounds, they haven't really had to throw any of it. I imagine G2 are going to start stacking up nades into that A main spot. Maybe have a Molotov like ready early for the ramp as well. But look again, lots of utility being expended. I think this is once more an elaborate ruse to try and bait players into a rotation. Kenny, he goes for the aggressive peek, and once again, we're going to see nothing from that AWP. OC with the entry onto Nexa as well. And this is looking like another round which is just done. They're getting the same treatment as they were on the other side. ATK just brute forcing G2. This is impressive stuff, to say the least. And I'm getting flashbacks to that game versus Sharks where G2, they were so dominant, they were so far in the lead, they were performing out of their minds, and then all at once it all disappeared.
Oh, Dinks come through out of Hunter, but Floppy gets the kill. And Omnic trying to save the SG. Should have a kill into Floppy here if Floppy decides to push him. Ooh, getting flanked in from behind. Oh, just barely gets away too. So we'll at least be able to save 1 weapon to the next round. He still has 5.8, so he can drop 1. But ATK, like, they are really taking heads here. Again, like, the rounds, as I said before, weren't necessarily clean, but these last 2 have been. Probably on 24 kills now. And the spread on the other side, I mean, it's 4 kills, right? It's 19 to 15. It's really everyone doing well, but in these last rounds, G2 have looked almost non-existent.
Well, once again, we're going to have what is a bit of a mixed bunch buy for G2. Molotov going to be thrown down. Jax is just going to opt to push through it. Going to try and spam him out, but he's going to survive and keep pop control at least. Really fighting for it early into this round. There's going to be a couple of players on the B site as well. Amanek just fighting into Ivy, but there isn't anybody there. It is looking like another B take attempt from ATK.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be the fake this time. Smoke splash are being thrown in. Amanek is not here to help out, so they're going to be a little bit weak on the site. So Hunter back with the FAMAS, though, and look how much ground JT's getting mowed. I don't know where he just took that damage from. I think he ran through a Molotov there, or maybe got spammed through or scouted, or yeah, spammed through potentially. He's gonna fall though, so it's gonna be 1-for-1 trade. But Floppy just doing Floppy things. 25 kills now for him. He's looking to lock this round and tie things up between the 2 teams.
Yeah, Hunter's been able to do some extra damage once again. They do actually have a kill onto Amanek, so there's still possibilities here, but I think that kill might just decide the round. Kenny trying to sneak his way through, but there shouldn't be any way, really, that he gets this far. Almost finds the second, but it isn't going to be the case. Loads of money for ATK, so even the players that they're losing, it doesn't really matter. And now they're in the exact same position that G2 had them in. They have lots of cash. They're coming up with buy after buy after buy. And they even equalize the scoreline. That's not something I thought I'd be saying. Thoroughly impressed with this T-side from ATK. Is this going to be the change? This is the first real 4-buy with weapons across every single player. Or maybe the second from G2. Are they going to be able to stop this bombardment from ATK? Or are they going to let this slip?
Also remember, I think Floppy had like 20 kills when finally a second teammate on his team was able to get into double digits. So everyone else is starting to really step up here. Modem catches out Jax, gets the kill. Kind of avenging himself from the first half when he was on the CT side in those positions. Kenny just consistently being burned up by utility down to 22 health. The rotations have fully come through. All the CTs are going to be on this outer bomb site. Inner's going to be left open, which Floppy's going to notice. Now the bomb's going to quickly rotate back over. Will Floppy be the big playmaker here in this round to get them in the lead?
Looks like it. He's already managed to catch off Nexa, and rotation, that should have been a kill really for Sonic. We'll see if that comes back to punish him. Bomb is going to be planted on the other side of the map, and G2 are looking quite far out of this one. Hunter could be the surprise factor. He's going to check around that ladder, which will mean that they can come in with those flanks. Still got a fair amount of time because they do have a kit, but they're actually going to just save their weapons. They've lost too much into this round. This is unreal. ATK, after being 10-5 down, have now brought this back for them to be in the lead 13-12 and G2's map pick on the T side.
Well, Inferno is definitely looking like it could be on the cards here today. As long as ATK can continue this pace. Though you did say before, getting Kenny an op, that can sometimes be enough to win a round. He's going to have it in this round now, saved from round number 25. But he hasn't really been too effective with it. I mean, G2, like, they've been rotating really quickly. After those 2 rounds back-to-back, we saw it of ATK with the fakes in towards B and then the push down towards ladder. G2 have been a little bit quicker to rotate things out, but that also can be an upside for ATK to realize, hey, they're doing things a little bit too quick, which we can take advantage of. Especially with Floppy pushing in, doing the Hunter special on the inner site. Get him a lot of information to get that bomb down. Speaking of the Hunter special.
Didn't hit up. Still a reasonable amount of weaponry in this round that you have to be careful of. Jax said you're going to be able to get the opener and do a lot of damage as well. Overall. More kills coming across, and now this even looks like a round where G2 are in favor, especially with Hunter coming in from behind. This battle versus Modem could decide the round, and he actually does get that kill. Peek through for Amanek is not going to do enough, and it's on to Nexa and Kenny to try and turn this back. Nexa on the site itself, hits one with the D, gets a second as well, and he even tries to go for Modem, but realizes it's not worth it. Let's try and play this as a team. Let's use that AWP of Kenny S. I'm going to get right in close. Sneaking his way around. The peek from Modem is good as he wins that duel, but he doesn't know where Kenny is, and that's so fast from Kenny S. He nets their 13th round. They needed something to bring them back to life. And sure, the pistols did a lot, but that final flick from Kenny was dirty.
Nexus flick here, though. Oh, so crisp, so clean. Oh my gosh, Kenny is just so damn fast. Gets the round for G2, gets him on a 13 to tie things back up, but problem is ATK still have a ton of money to spend. They're going to build a buy for the round after this as well. Let's see if G2 can continue to stop the rot and close this out, if ATK can pull this one back. So close to taking over to Inferno, with being down so far in the first half on the CT side.
Yeah, there's lots of utility in play now. Oh, Kenny's going to get caught out. Didn't expect them to push through such an open position. Amanek waiting at the back. They're starting to isolate these players. It's falling apart again for G2. Everything that was so successful in the last round is failing. The T's just run the same strategy again, just running into that A site.
And they've won themselves another round. It's a 14th on the board for ATK. The train is not stopping. Well, there's no choice but to save these remaining weapons. Kenny's going to be able to buy another AWP into the next round. They'll still have a decent amount of loss bonus, so we should still see a purchase at least. But they need to keep these weapons in play.
Oh my gosh. 1 HP
again. That could actually be a problem for G2. I think they should still have a buy anyway, as long as Nexa saves his gun, but it's not going to be an ideal one. And with the potential of their money being somewhat reset going into what could be the last round, I can't believe we're even in this position.
They have no timeouts left either for G2, so they have no time to talk some things over. But 100% agree with what you're saying. Like with the 10-5, with how like dominating that was for G2, to see it come back to this, got a little bit frustrated on the G2 side, and again, kind of reminiscent of their match versus Sharks. Maybe having some problems closing out matches. But here we go, round number 28 kicking off. What are ATK going to decide to go with? A lot of utility being expended off the bat here at a G2, right into T main.
You can see, look how much utility just been expended so early into this round from G2. They had pretty much a full set. They know how important not allowing these faster rounds to come in from ATK has been. Once again, we see that build up over towards the B site. They haven't thrown one of these rounds in a while. Counter utility expended by Nexa. He tries to keep that high ground going. JT already gets the entry onto Hunter. A lot of this is going to come down to what Nexa can do. There's a first. He can't quite convert the second. He connects just a bullet. Amanek is fast on the rotation at least. And there are a couple of low players, so there's still potential in this round for G2. However, that might be the detriment. Amanek, once again, is going to be getting another kill. There's a flank coming in as well they have to be careful of. Is Amanek going to check behind him? That's the problem. There's another player just waiting in the back. That will be Modem, and Jax, he is screwed here. 15 rounds for ATK. Money, now a big, big issue for G2. And they have let this slip. They have thrown it away.
And what do they do here? An overtime would be needed. And ATK had to be flying high. Floppy on 28 kills, so close to passing that 30 kill threshold. And the buy is just not going to be there for G2. I mean, they have like a decoy in Promenade, Famas, nothing seems to be working out for them on the CT side, which is so crazy to think considering how the T side went and with how Vertigo went. That was a 16-4 scoreline. Let's see, ATK have slowed the pace up now. Do not make any mistakes as they're on the precipice of taking it to a map 3.
Good start from Amanek at least. Pre-fire coming through. JT needs to try and make sure that he's not going to be able to retrieve that weapon either. No AWP this time for Kenny, but can't really say he's had any impact with it in this second half. That's been the surprise, is that sure he had that one kill in the 1 versus 1, which gave them one of their only rounds. Can he do anything here? No, he's going to get isolated, taken out. 55 seconds left. Ivy control now falls into their favor. It's looking like we're going to see another burst into this A site with the bomb setting up into A main. There's already going to be 3, maybe a 4th, as there's still a quick rotation available for Nexa. This is one of the slower rounds we've seen, though. JT waiting patiently, trying to spot, and actually Jax doesn't even know it, but he's in somewhat of a crossfire. Does hit the headshot, though, and that's the bomb dropped at least for a second. Good trades back, though. In a matter of seconds, it swings into the favor of ATK, and Nexa now left in a 1 versus 3 clutch. He's going to walk into the AWP. Modem is going to miss the shot, but OC's there, and the spray down isn't happening. Just 3 rounds is what we got on the CT side from G2 after a 10-5 T side half. I don't know what happened. I don't know where this ATK roster came.
but this is should be ATK. Gonna have to perform on this T side again.
Just imagine if ATK in like their first international LAM with top talent, they beat North 2-0, they beat G2 2-1. Like
After
being
being
some big names,
a map down and behind 10-5, that's nuts. But hey, could be looking for more of the same from G2, at least the earlier rounds. Nice work from OC. He's going to be able to take down Hunter, and that will give them the bomb site. The rest of the players were heavy stacked onto the B side of the map for the early portion of this round. For now, they're just waiting for the retake to begin. The smoke is holding them back, and the CT side hoping it will fade. Only a single USP is going to be on the other side, so it's going to be down to OC to hit a lot of those ranged battles. And next, looking to sneak his way through. OC actually in the corner. Jax takes him down quickly, but trades back from Floppy and JT. And now just Floppy remaining. He's the man they've wanted in these clutch situations. He hits the shot to Jax, and Amanek, he's screwed here. He's trying to find an angle. He's trying to find something to defuse that bomb. It's going to have to be the diffuser. He's just sticking it. He may actually have it. Oh my goodness, how? How has he lost that round? Floppy did everything right, but just sneaking through the smoke. Amanek wins it, and I genuinely don't know how.
well, Nexo was the first one to go in towards the site, and he had the smoke. He ends up dying off. Smoke gets picked up by Amanek,
And
he
the kit
realizes,
as well.
yeah, and he realizes, well, I got to do something. Throws on the smoke, gets the defuse, pulls it off, and G2 just barely win that round, but the damage isn't done. The battle's not over just yet, as they have to go into this round with, what, 2 SGs and an AK that they're up against. And you got JT and Sonic with the Deagles. They do have 3 SMGs, an AUG, and an M4. They've already lost out on 1, now 2 of their weapons. And look at that, the aggression out of G2 again being punished.
Yeah, Hunter looking like he might need to pull off some sort of miracle here. Kenny is protect. Kenny doesn't have armor? What's going on?
I don't know.
This is a weird situation. I don't know how this has happened. I don't know if that's a misbuy or a miscalculation of cash, but Kenny's now left with an AUG. Like, even if you thought you were coming up against Glocks, that's a terrible idea. So I can only put that down to being a mistake, which in a round like this, you really can't afford. Any grenades going into his position is going to be a problem. Nice work from Hunter to start things off. Kenny also gets another, and Hunter, he just goes huge. It's how'd I don't even know. He gets that last kill as well. 4 kills for Hunter, looking like a round that was going to slip away, the same as the last. But somehow G2 make it work.
I'm still perplexed. Why do you get the AUG?
I think that can only be a mistake. Like, anything else just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, that's like the second buy mistake we've seen now out of G2. You're looking back to Train, right, where they overbought?
Yeah. Yeah, that one, actually, I didn't really think about that, but that could have been something that if they didn't do, they get a buy earlier, and who knows, maybe things are very different. We could be onto our second matchup, which, hey, it's going to be another exciting map. I didn't expect this series to go to 3. And I think that's fair, especially with the way that things were going. But hey, ATK have already proven me wrong once. They bought into this round once again. They've gone for a full investment, a fast play into the A side. Kenny is going to kick things off with the trades once again. However, they haven't been able to clear Jax from the pit. The bomb plant will actually give them potentially another buy into the next round. Jax needs to be cleared, really, if they're going to have much of a hold in this. And tries to spam through. Actually does a little bit of damage onto OC, and he's sort of acting as a bit of a distraction because Amanek's looking to come in on the flank. You can see OC having to watch way too many angles, and if Jax gets this timing right, that's the kill. And now JT, he has to try and fight this one out. Pops the first, but can't do anything else. And the CT side are going to win themselves another round. Again, it's a bomb plant. Again, it's close. I just wonder if there's going to be a point where we stop seeing the 4 spies. And if we do, I don't think this is it.
No, definitely. I mean, they have some decent money. They've been doing some decent damage in these rounds as well. G2 haven't even had a strong buy yet. They've had a couple of SGs or SMGs in that round. They had a lot of SMGs in the round prior. Here we go. I mean, they are lacking massively in utility, though, so this does worry me a bit, though, Tom. On the other side for G2, like, they can stall for a long time with the amount of utility they've been able to buy up. So what does ATK need to do? Bar, look for just an amazing kill. Amazing entry somewhere.
Well, banana control is going to be fought for. Amanek takes quite a lot of damage off of grenades. Tees don't really seem interested, though. They were already heading towards this A site before banana was lost. Clearly feel like there's something to be had. Sonic, he gets aggressed on by Jax, and well, this is going very badly wrong for G2. Trapped in the corner, there's no way Hunter gets out of this alive, and the grenades are a little bit too late. Kenny, he's only good for 1, and with just 2 players remaining, there shouldn't be a chance here. And finally, ATK, I think they've deserved to get around on the board, and just look at the money, look at the damage that has been done to G2.
And that was with such limited utility. I think they had 2 players with like smokes and flashes, and that was about it. Just outright winning these aim duels, catching Hunter off at the wrong spot when he was in the cubby, watching the flank from, I think that was Almanet coming in from behind. And G2 now, I mean, Almanet only has 800 left. Kenny S does have 3,200. They still have like an okay amount of money. And they've gone for a big stack over towards the A site at the same time. Leaving Almanet to himself over towards B.
Nice nade at least, but there really isn't much else for G2 to play with in this round. It's interesting to see how much money there actually is left on Amanek and Hunter going forward. Maybe they're just going to invest into SMGs in the next round, but I'm quite surprised. Like, their money is poor, so the fact that they've actually bought anything is maybe a bit of a mistake, but I guess there's something behind it.
At least we hope.
This round at least, though. This is basically the best case for ATK. They took some risks. They kept getting the bomb down. They grinded out the rounds. Now with their second round about to be going onto the board, it's looking like it's going to be perfect. It's looking like it's going to be clean. And it seems like the T's themselves don't really want to hand anything over. So they'll get the 1900 loss bonus. Does give Kenny enough for a glass cannon if he really wants it, but I wonder if we are just going to have a situation of back-to-back saves.
Seems to look like it. Okay, so ATK looking to tie things up here in this round then if they can have a relatively clean one. Some decent money too. JT on 5,800. Sonic on 53, Modem on 53. Getting this round with relative ease would also be, you know, like a really good setting up for the long run of this match. And you were saying before, if I remember correctly, like G2, they went to something like 11-4 or something like that?
They were 11-1 up.
11-1 up?
Versus Sharks and almost let it slip. That was on the T side though. They were playing the T side very strong, so. Or at least, no, never mind. No, it was the CT side. Sorry, that was when we were looking at Vertigo. Yeah, no, it was their CT side. They got off to a flying start. Jax was performing fantastically when it came to the A site. And it meant that they can go for a lot of heavy gambles onto Banana because of it.
Speaking about gambles on Banana, they're gone for the 4-man stack at the B site now. Good Molotov. Touches Nexa on the move for a little bit of time, and I think they've actually decided to change things up. Jax is going to have a lot of company coming his way towards the A site. G2, they have yet to rotate off to help out. And here they go now as ATK make their way in towards the site. Jax, can he get anything off this is going to be my question. He gets one, but unfortunately that's going to be just about it. Bomb will go down, and now G2 ideally looking for kills, maybe save a weapon or two. There's almost no reason, I guess, to just go in for it.
Well, they could look to cause some damage, steal a weapon away. That's the best case. Modern will have heard the steps, so he should know that there's a man in the middle. And Kenny's going to go look to see if he can find any sort of weaponry, but that it was only dropped over onto the site and maybe just doesn't want to give away that extra $300. Namanek, however, will do just that. And Nexa, well, he has Kevlar, so should definitely just be opting to keep himself alive in this scenario. It is another round on the board for ATK and a relatively clean one of that. Just look at the money that's already been built up for them. 9,000 on the majority of players and the rest 6, 7 apiece. So we are going to see a tactical timeout. This is where we get the buy coming in. Kenny saved a lot of money for this round, and this is where G2 really need to step up, because even though they've just lost that last map, they are definitely still big favorites. And them going out here, well, it would be a statement for ATK, a second one in 2 days, but more so, start to bring questions to G2. I was talking moments ago about, like, well, literally like 30 minutes ago, we were talking about how if G2 continued to play like this, they could challenge some of the best. They fought versus Astralis. They were playing so well, and then it just like, they switch sides. They go onto the CT side of Train and just get manhandled. And I still just surprised that ATK were able to do that to them, but more so that G2 didn't have any response.
Let me just look at the top right-hand side of your screen. 16-4, 16-13. With a 10-5 first half. Like, that's not how I thought this series would end up turning out. I was going to assume we're going to have a quick little 2-0 here. But credit to ATK to really fight themselves out of that pit. Taking a little bit of damage off the bat with utility from G2. Looks like they're going to just pick up the pace and head straight towards the A site. No slow play here on Inferno. Hunter's going to smoke things off to help delay the push back in, but unfortunately he gets caught off. Gets headshotted down. Jax isn't really able to defend much more than that, but the utility damage is still done a ton. Nexa gets himself a double. Modem and OC on very low HP, and Kenny, as he's as the op, he's looking to come around. Even Omenek clanking in from B site. Still a possibility here for G2 to take this one, but it comes down to ATK if they can hit their initial shots.
Kenny trying to clear the close sight, and Modem is in the pit. Ready and waiting for anybody to peek in. They've still got half the time on the clock, but they do need to get a move on. They don't have a kit, so this is too slow. And Modem just takes off Kenny's head. Amanek, I don't even really know why he's fighting this. Sure, you could do some damage, but you can't win the round. The round is done. And now he just has to try and retreat back. I wonder if he's going to run around and try and get the AWP. Nope. So even still, like, this is a good run for ATK. They're continuing to grind them forward. Money, not really an issue for them as long as they continue to win rounds. And they're now into the lead.
I could swear I just heard about him screaming all the way from Denmark here to Poland. If you guys watched any of the group stage. That shot into Kenny just gave him the round. And gave him the lead. 4-3 now for ATK. And look at G2 and well, they bought up some pistols. But it's looking like ATK might be able to pull off a 5th round here. He's going to come through, not really going to catch anyone to G2, but it's allowed them to get the initial control. Cinder comes in as well, and really good utility usage out of ATK to get that full control banana, but they've not really been able to capitalize off it just yet. And the dudes slowly make their way forward. There's still going to be 3 players to defend out of G2, though. One thing I will say, though, for ATK, they've been not necessarily using the entire time in a round, which I kind of like, because now they can slow play if they want to and catch G2 off a little bit off guard. Might be keeping G2 on the back foot.
That smoke is interesting. They're going to throw it onto the site just to give them the attempt to peek into CT, but it's more just an elaborate ruse. Now the remaining smokes are going to go down, but it's just a fake. They're going to try and make their way back. Amanek with the rifle is waiting there, so it means there's only going to be pistols on the A side. 45 seconds left for ATK to play with, so not really any worries there. The only real worry is the fact that they don't actually have that much utility left, so there is a possibility for a couple of hero plays to be thrown out, but they're still trying to be methodical, clearing all of these remaining angles. And now with just 1 smoke left, they're going to go pushing into the site, but they have all the angles available to them. I don't really see too much going the way of G2, and they'll clean things up very nicely indeed. And that'll be another round for ATK.
That's 5 straight for them. The Lost Post is going to be there for G2. I think Almanac should be just saving the M4. Maybe next with the Kevlar. Maybe look for an exit frag as they do retreat away from the site. And where's this ATK been? I mean, again, this is a team who wasn't even supposed to be playing the Pro League. They were an MDL. They got brought up because there was a couple of teams in the group who unfortunately couldn't field a roster. They found out a couple days before they actually played that they were going. They didn't fare too well in the group in the first stage, but they made it through to the second stage and then eventually made it through here, and they've been able to beat North 2-0. They're able to give Mouse a run for their money. And now they're almost on the verge of beating G2. I'd say that's quite a good way to end the year for them.
Well, yeah, I think more impressively, they might be able to beat G2 after getting banged in the first map and the first half of the second map. So that just to have that mental fortitude to get the momentum into your favor and then just stick with it, that's the most impressive thing in my mind for such a young and inexperienced team to be able to do so much. No matter what happens now in this map, of course, it would be the icing on the cake if they can make their way through to the matchup that gives them a chance to get into the playoffs. Of course, it's not going to get easier from there. Likelihood is it'll be someone like Mouse Sports in there.
Yeah, they would play the winner of Mouse Sports or Renegades if they can win this one. Oh, Jax gets gooshed up again. You can just see like this lack of money on the side of G2 has really been affecting them. Like Jax can't afford the head armor. Obviously not a big deal when it comes to this round, but I remember a couple of rounds prior, Persona ATK just swung wide around and he was able to goosh him up right away. So position on next. Counter flash comes in out of motive though, opens things up. They get the 2 kills on the B site, and they should have control of this if they get the bomb up here.
That flashbang was so well timed. Smoke is not the best, but they're going to be able to get past Kenny's crosshair, and with the second and third smoke going down, it's going to end the round. Another in a row, 6 in a row now for ATK. They're keeping their form from the T side of Train. And as mentioned, like, it was a really good CT side coming out from G2 when they played against Sharks, but their T side almost let the map slip. So too many more rounds on the board, and I'm actually starting to almost favor ATK, which is not something I thought I'd say throughout the map.
And Tom, one thing they've been doing really well is they're not losing too many players in these rounds when they win them too. So the economy's really built up. They got a couple players on 12K. They're able to really stabilize here if they do start to lose some rounds. And G2, what can they possibly do? They're obviously able to buy up in every round, but they're not able to win the rounds. And what is going to change for them? What do they need to do differently here to finally get their 4th?
Well, it definitely seems like ATK have their eye on the prize. Fully focused. G2, wow, already taking their second pause. No surprises, really. Nothing they've been doing has been working. Individually, we've even seen a fall off. Kenny, he performed very well in the match we saw yesterday. Jackson Hunter as well on the crossfire on the A side was actually almost impossible for Sharks to break down. And, well, in all honesty, it's been fairly easy for ATK. The synergy of this roster actually seems to be really damn impressive. And one thing that, so you mentioned obviously the didn't know they were playing, they had to like build in. One thing we didn't even really mention is that first like match of Pro League, I'm pretty sure was the first match they played with Sonic since he came back from Envy. It was at least very, maybe they played a qualifier or something just beforehand, but he'd only just come back into the team.
Well, one thing we can say about this team is they've massively improved over their time within the Pro League. I'm really excited to see where they do go next year. I know it says a couple of times, but you know, this team has a lot of potential. And I hope to see Modem continue his trash talking, you know, next season. It's definitely better than Stewie's. Then again, it's not hard to be better than Stewie's trash talking. Then again, he's the first, North American player to be a millionaire on Counter-Strike, so.
Yeah, I think that's trash talk enough.
Yeah, exactly. That's all the trash talk he needs to do.
Just holds out his phone with his bank account. There we go, Jax again. As I said, he was so good yesterday. He's been overwhelmed once more. This is a 4-man stack. Kenny with a nice flick, but it's not enough to stick the round. And it's going to be a 7th onto the board for ATK in a row.
So they even stack the A site with 4 players and they still lose, and they only take down 2.
Yes.
What? I don't know what needs to change for them. What is